Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UBC campus in Vancouver, BC. I'm Kevin Underhill, joined by Vince Bullock in the booth. This is an exhibition game between University of Washington Sun Dodgers and the UBC Thunderbirds. Vince, maybe you can just give us a little rundown of tonight's game.
Yeah, Kev, really excited to be here at a venerable Thunderbird Stadium for a great matchup between the Birds and the Sun Dodgers. This is a preseason matchup in the college season. Both of these teams got started in the fall, around the start of the school year, and have been cooking up their offenses, their defensive sets, and are ready to put it to the test for the first time in 2026, just ahead of the official start of the season later this month down in San Diego.
Yeah, and at the end of the month, I believe the Birds are going to Santa Barbara as well. And I'm not sure about UW, but if they are, that's kind of the real start of the season. And this is a nice little preseason tune-up. I know the UBC Thunderbirds went in the fall and had a tune-up in Georgia. So this is a group that's feeling like they are pretty cut up already and excited. And, coming off last season where they qualified for USA college champs for the first time since 2017. So this is a team that feels like they got a real shot at it this year.
Yeah, that's an exciting storyline, Kev. UBC looking to get back to nationals in consecutive seasons for the first time in program history. Meanwhile, UW missing nationals the past season, kind of a surprise given their history, making it many years in a row. And they're going to be looking to get back into that big show later this season. And this is a great first test for them here to start off January.
Absolutely, and we got a nice crowd on hand here, probably at least over 100 and probably more filtering as the game happens. Make sure to stay tuned. This game is on trickshotlive.com, and they will be bringing you the men's match now and then a women's match right after this one as well. So UW and UBC playing a back-to-back here this evening as a little preseason tune-up. And we get ready to join the action here. We've got Rex Ewan for UBC all set to pull. About to get the game on.
The pull is up. Away we go. Big spin pull from UXUN. Will it stay in bounds? It looks like it might be OB.
Classic Rex.
Vince, we got Ben Bolin. Ben Bolin taking the opening pull at the brick mark here. Here's a player who made a splash immediately last year with UW and also played on Team Canada U24.
Yeah, Bolin just such a powerful thrower with the disc. He can really open up the field for them, and Carter Byer, one of his favorite targets, taken off to start the game.
Break for shot. That's Nick Yin on the far side, right down the middle. UW running a horizontal set here. Bolin available in the backfield, looking downfield.
Looking for the break shots. Easy reset.
Right up the middle there. That's Ben Lewis with the disc in the middle. Looking around for Byer. Instead goes back to Bolin.
Bolin just ever available in the backfield. Nice catch there.
Right inside.
It's Jacqueline on the far side. Of course, back to Bolin, the center pivot for this UW squad.
UBC's
looking for Byer.
Pressure on defense.
Carter Byer made a statement in the club division this year, playing for Sockeye. Back to Jacqueline, looking for Bolin. Airs it out. And just a little bit too much on that one. It looks like a bit of a miscommunication, and then Bolin wasn't quite ready for it. The throw was actually pretty good, and Bolin got his mitts on it, but it's a first turnover of the game, goes to UBC.
Yeah, big opportunity for UBC to get started here. Ewan with the disc, launching right away.
No surprise to see Rex rip it there, but again, didn't quite connect with his target downfield. That was Ryan Chen striking deep, but they just were not on the same page as it came up.
Yeah, and that's part of that early season energy here. Rex, we know, is going to look to gun the disc. That's another guy with a range that really expands the field. Just getting those receivers on the same page with him is going to be an interesting storyline as this game develops.
UW picking up.
Bolin, middle of the field on his own end zone. Goes out to the far side, Nick Yin. It's Nicholas Yin looking deep, throwing it to Carter Byer. Hanging it up. Byer can't quite track it down.
Another drop by UW.
Disc on the far side now for UBC. Their second chance at a break in this point.
And that's Aris Kasura on the under, one of the motors of this defensive squad for UBC, especially on a turn.
Colin Wu now. And just some early jitters there. Dunk Nichols on the far side. Conditions are pretty solid. It's definitely cold. Up here in Canada, we got Celsius going, so it's probably about 6 degrees, maybe coming down to about 4 during this game. Just now upfield. Golan with it.
Upline
Or Vivek Shah.
Huge layout D.
And what a block there. Leaving his feet to deny the goal.
That's Logan Hutton. And again, some of these second-year guys making an impact already for UBC. Rex Ewan, one of those, walking it up.
Rex Ewan picking up once again.
Looks like there's going to be a foul call.
Call.
Colin Wu darting up the line.
Disc going back.
Yeah, and Kev, I'd love to ask you, what do you advise to players like this feeling a little early game jitters? What would be going through your head if you were Rex Ewan on the front cone right now, with a little bit of already turnover heavy point? What's going through your mind?
I mean, I always like, especially early in games or early in games like this, I like to take the small wins, just stack up completions. I feel like I would probably run something in the handler set. Anything you can do to get some small, beautiful block there by Bolin. Just some small completions can help really set the tone. But, these teams went back and forth several turns each, and now Bolin's got the disc at the front of the end zone line. See if he can isolate a cutter in the end zone. Sure enough, buckets there for UW. They're cash in. It was anything but a clean 0-point hold, but they'll take it there as number 19, Jack Lynn, gets his first goal of the game. Great block by Bolin to set that one up.
Yeah, just a I'm going to get the job done play by Ben Bolin. Had a little bit too much at that point, and Lynn with just a really nice move, speedy cut to the front cone, beating his guy to the open side, and just nothing the UBC defender was able to do on that one. Now we get a first look at UBC's offensive line. You see a number of familiar faces jogging out there to the line, and a new face, Kev, that we're excited to see, a little personal connection to us, Ben Jang, making his first appearance of 2026 and of his career for UBC, excluding that fall preseason tournament.
Yeah, BJ, Ben Jang, he's out there, number 2 for UBC. He's played 2 seasons on Furious George, and as just a youngster, he's got a chance now to really crack into the college season, making his UBC debut here and getting set to make his sort of USAU college debut at the end of the month in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, but it's not just new faces for UBC. Some familiar ones like Davis Toth, now in his 5th year with the club. Just a super high impact player with huge speed out there. I'm going to look for Davis to make an impact on this point.
Yeah, UBC's coming off a college championship season, as we talked about at the top of the show. A lot of these guys getting that experience is ever so important as they prepare for another big season. Just having that ability to understand how to play at that level, it's absolutely massive here. As you see BJ immediately inject into upfield.
Looking like a deep strike. Get it?
There's Ben Jang looking upfield. Instead, he goes down low. That's Justin Podner.
UBC clearing out well. Using the deep space.
Podner looking upfield. Nothing really available. Goes upfield into the break force space. Beautiful throw there. That's to number 16, Miles Wong. Another friendly, furious face. It's going to be a lot of Podner, Wong, and Jang on this unit here. There's Wong looking upfield.
Yeah, Wong, just another player with unbelievable speed and explosiveness, but has added a really nice throwing game to his arsenal. But there's a little mistake for UBC and an opportunity for UW's D-line on the second point of the game.
Yeah, they got that one off the line nicely into the middle there to Owen Chen, and then just didn't link up with his receiver there. We get our first look at the offense for this UW D group. As you see a heavy bid there from Wong on the far side. An immediate up line.
Cooked up line.
And a beautiful reception and the break force and a little bit of spice afterwards. UW scoring the first 2 goals of the game, and they did what UBC couldn't. UBC had plenty of chances to get their first break, but instead it's UW coming out 2 buzz.
Absolutely, Kevin. That's the story in these early games. You got to take your opportunities when you see a little bit of jitters from the opposing offense. And you get those opportunities early in the game. Cashing them in on the defense is what actually counts, and UW was able to do it there with 2 really gutsy throws to the open side through bidding defenders. Great effort by Miles Wong and by Davis Toth on those bids, but just not quite close enough to deny the UW offense or their D-line offense that goal there to open up the scoring on the break side. It's 2-0 now for UW.
Yeah, and you can see UW got the half field turn, which just means they have to go that much fewer distance, that much fewer yards, and it was just a 2-pass and under and a massive upline. So UBC is going to have to go back to the drawing board on defense. They looked pretty comfortable on O. As soon as the disc changed hands, It was just 2 consecutive passes for the UW goal.
Yeah, and with the confidence of that UBC O-line, it's no surprise to see many of the same players coming on back to the other side of the field. But they've added Rex UN for a little bit more firepower on this O-line point.
Observers for today's game, Alan Bagish and Paul Dante, both from Vancouver, BC. Alan Bagish, a veteran observer. You can see him there on the UBC O side. Actually, sorry, he's on the UW side now. Yeah, Alan, been observing since 2015, a veteran of College Club and CUC head observer this year. So good to have a good observing group out here taking control of the game. Immediately, Ben Jang inserts to Rex Ewan. Junior's teammates in the Prime program. Over to Justin Podner for an under. Podner hucks it immediately. Bryn McCole in a one-on-one. And it's not going to be enough there as it just got to the sideline and was immediately taken away by the UW defender there.
Yeah, and Bryn's such an elite receiver, but just didn't have an angle to make a play on that disc and use those explosive hops to get to it. Now UW with another chance marching their D-line O, but this time with a full field to look at, 70 yards.
Yeah, we saw Nicholas Yin there for UW getting the block. He was on the opening O point, and now he's out here making a difference on the defensive side.
Yeah, and a few faces from the UW O-line have crossed over here. Bolin receiving the disc in the middle of the field as well.
Immediate break shot by Bolin.
Inside shot.
Right down the middle, and Carter Bear couldn't hang on. Almost too simple there. He was already thinking about the next pass. Now it's Podner picking up over to Ewan. Rex Ewan had Miles Wong downfield, decided against it. Instead, he keeps it in the backfield. That's Davis Toth. Toth looking upfield, flips it to BJ. Jang there. A little bit of pressure. Instead, goes up line right away to Podner. Podner staring into the upfield with a hammer over the top, and that is going to cash in UBC's first point of the game, and that's Justin Podner with the goal. Owen Chan on the reception. UBC on the board. 2-1 UW leads.
Just a beautiful shot there from Podnar, a guy known for his defense, for his size and athleticism, but the throwing package for Justin is nothing too shabby either, and that leading hammer is a difficult shot. Also fun to see Podnar guarded by Byer there. That's a fun little matchup. Guys that were rivals for many years playing college and then got to be teammates on the U24 Canadian men's national team this last summer. I think a really nice experience for them and always fun to play against a guy that you've got some close relationship with.
Yeah, for sure. Byer with that Canadian connection coming up north to play for Team Canada during the international cycle for U24 last year. And speaking of the international cycle, shout to Justin Podner there. He with the hammer goal, he had himself a heck of an international cycle last season, being on the long list and the reserve list for World Games, playing in those international games, and then of course on the U24 Open team, and then he also played on the World Canadian Beach Mix team. So this guy's been around the world and back in the last 12 months, and he's playing some quality ultimate.
Yeah, a name to know on the World Ultimate scene, an emotive guy and a super talented Ultimate player and the center of this UBC team, along with many of these other talented players like Rex Yuan, who's pulling the disc.
Ewan rips the pull into the UW territory and immediately centered here. UW, another chance to get a look at their offense.
Yeah, UW coming down with a vertical stack pull play, just something simple, getting the disc moving right away. And look at that space in the deep space.
Leo Cruz with the huck, and it's spotted for the goal.
95.
That's number 95, Griffin Lowe.
That's a nice one-handed grab by Lowe, going up super confident, using his body to make the space. And he just went up and grabbed that thing, no problem.
Yeah, Leo Cruz there with just going a little give-go off the sideline and then ripping the huck, sealed nicely. Well done there, Griffin Lowe with the bucket. UW leads 3-1 in this early season exhibition match.
Yeah, defender in pursuit there, and he did a great job of closing the gap, but what we're talking about there is the box set. He just put his body in the way, and no matter what the defender did, he wasn't able to get his hand towards the disc, and it's not easy to go up and stab it with one hand like Cruz did, but that was a pretty nice high skill play to start off that UW O-line with a clean hold for the first time.
Yeah, looking to last year's results, Vince, UW, again, we talked about how they didn't make nationals in a stacked Northwest region with, I believe it was 4 bids, and UBC taking the 4th in a tense nail-biter game to go against UVic. But UW, they started off the regionals just fine, winning back-to-back, and then they went 4-0 down the stretch. So this is a group that I think wants a little bit of redemption this year and wants to get back to the show for the first time after missing it for 2 consecutive seasons. They certainly look to have a talented squad and some superstar power in Golan and Bolin and Carter Beyer. It's just the question if the depth is enough, and then you got to deliver a Sunday at Northwest Regionals.
Yeah, well, and you got to think that that's part of the reason they're making trips like this, coming north of the border on a Friday night in January. They're really putting together the pieces. Just playing games is so key to having a good ultimate season, and they're focused on that.
UBC cooking a little bit of a dominator here with Wong, Ben Chang, and Podner. Jang goes up line just past half field. Surveying the field. There's kind of a bit of a spread offense here. Podner with chance to cook in the middle with the sort of a wide horizontal at the back. And then they got the 3 handlers, Podner, Wong, and BJ. Bryn McCull injects now. They're in 10 zone. Wong surveying. Over to Podner. Good tight coverage there by UW, not allowing much. It's all short passes the whole field so far.
Tight defense.
And Kev, dominator sets like this have become ever popular in recent years. When you have guys that can just get open in space, you can chew up those yards with just the short passes, but it does mean you got to make more and more throws. And as they get up the field, the pressure builds.
See Wong and Jang playing give-go here. Wong showing off that speed, but still can't quite get it past that initial spot, and Podner wiggles his way to the front end zone, cashes in the goal, and you can see Wesley Wong injected, Bryn McCall injected, but really they were able to just work it down this fourth side with Podner, Wong, and BJ. Good solid offense there, clean offense, and they really leveraged that sort of handler space dominator almost for the entire field all the way into the end zone set.
Absolutely, Kev. The dominator, especially when you've got a favorable matchup or two, is a really nice tool to use, and there's few guys against whom Miles Wong doesn't have a favorable matchup in the lateral space. That guy is explosive moving side to side, and he did a really good job there of getting open and finding Justin in the front of the end zone.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about UW's results last year. Disappointing for them not to make the big dance, and of course they'll be looking for revenge this year. UBC, on the other hand, qualifying for nationals for the first time since 2017. It was the 4th time the men's program has qualified for U.S. College Nats, being the first being in 2005, 2011, 2017, and then again last year at 2025. They went 1-4 at college champs. Probably some of those learning moments coming up. Had some tight games, but they lost to Poly Slow, Cal Golden Bears. They lost to Colorado and Michigan on the way to a win over Cal Santa Cruz at the end. I'm sure they're looking to leverage some of that positive momentum from winning their last game and learning those sort of tough beats on the way.
Yeah, there's just no experience like getting to the big show, and you really got to think that bringing back a lot of that core from last season with that new experience is going to be huge for UBC. And so far, it's showing some confidence. And another character that we're seeing now for the first time for UBC is Simon Ramirez Ortiz, making his first appearance on the 3rd D point.
And UW injects right away, finds their target, Finn Hilty, excuse me. Hilty with the disc on the goal line and just a flip for a goal. No problem. UW, 2 passes later at the front goal line, flips it in. Hilty with the assist. Nice goal there. UW, clean hold, leads 4-2 over the home UBC.
Yeah, nice use of momentum there, gaining a little space and just letting it fly in the deep space, and then using the backwards momentum, throwing to a guy that's parallel with you, but gaining a few yards, just enough for the goal there. And now UBC with a little bit of pressure on coming up for this next hold.
Vince, take a second here during this break to talk about some of the legacy in this building. Thunderbird Stadium, of course, home to the 2008 World Ultimate Championship, where Team Canada Mixed and Team Canada Men won on this facility. Of course, back then it was grass. I'm not sure what you were doing in 2008, but I was about 6 meters from where I'm standing right now with my back against the wall in a sold-out T-Bird Stadium, watching Mike Grant, Mauro Ortiz, John Hassel, some of the legends of the men's game, win a gold medal against a deep sort of USA Sockeye combo. What a moment that was, and it happened right here. How many years ago? 17, 18 years ago, 2008.
Yeah,
make some noise.
Just an iconic part of Ultimate history in Canada, and crazy that it's long enough ago now that the rookies on UBC this year would have been born that very same year. But it's also a building that's become a kind of more recent home of Ultimate. These past few years, it's been home to the Douglas Bowl, and oh my gosh, a nice cut by Podner there, and some good offense by UBC to start off this point.
No doubt. We'll see if UBC can make some history of their own on home soil, see if they can come back from a 4-2 deficit and get ahead here. Disc in the hands of Bryn McCall. So he moves the disc backwards. Ewan with McCall in the bail. It's Bryn McCall. Looking upfield, has BJ upfield, a little high release backhand. Jang looking for Wong. Instead comes into the backfield, Davis Toth. Toth looking for Jang upfield. Instead goes around to Wong. Wong got up big for that one as it popped a little in the wind, but couldn't hang on to it. And all of a sudden, UW has their dogs out there and has a chance. Ben Bolin picks up.
Bolin with that little Oyo. That's become his signature so far in this game. He's just pounding it to the inside, really hard to guard.
It's a soft goal in, and Jacqueline out there.
Probably a pick in the middle of the field. Little 3-car pileup. Players jockeying for position. We're back into play.
Nicholas Yin now. Number 13 for UW. Goes into the backfield.
Cheeky little lefty backhand.
Looking for Bolin, another left-handed backhand, 2 consecutive. Looks like there's a pick.
Another pick call.
Has Ben Lewis squirreled free there. Looks like there's a pick called Miles Wong.
Yeah, and so far UW just looking a little more disciplined in this game until now. And what a shot cross field.
Huge forehand blade from Bolin for the UW score.
That's the power of Ben Bolin right there, that field expanding strength that I was talking about, and no other receiver he'd rather see with a few meters of separation than Carter Byer in the back of the end zone. Big fella, reeling that one in just at chest level.
Yeah, after the first point where there was multi-turns back and forth, and UW probably had to drive up from Seattle today, and were just getting their sea legs underneath them, sort of had a sketchy hold to start things off. But since then, they've been pretty tidy. They've had a lot of good targets. They've used the break space. They've used some sort of, a combo of vert and hoe as they move down the field. And their offense has generally looked pretty nice, and especially when they've gotten turns. When they've made UBC's offense turn, they've been able to capitalize. And this short squad, they have about 18 or 19 here, and they get to rerun a lot of their top guys. And they've surged out to a 5-2 lead, and well-deserved as they've capitalized on every good opportunity for breaks.
Yeah, man, they're doing it with pace and space out there. The field just looks so open when they're moving down the field and into the red zone especially. And what I was saying before about being disciplined, they just don't have guys popping out of the stack. They're letting their dogs cook in the backfield and finding those gaps in a more natural way. UBC will look to do the same here on this next O point.
UW VDK Vaughn Dillander Kinnest with the pull. That's Ben Jang. Central over to Rex Ewan. Rex Ewan's got tons of power, and sure enough, he's going to unload. That's to Justin Podner. Kenny Gudd up and over. Nice hands there. Number 11 Podner with the catch on the doorstep. Bryn McCall, little spin move. Kerrsdale's own Bryn McCall with the goal. He's going to cash in, and a nice clean point, and boy, did UBC need that. They trail 5-3 to UW.
Yeah, and Podnar with a big grab there, and just looking upfield, knowing Bryn was going to get open one way or another. He had complete confidence in his boy, and they gave him the space to cook, which is a sweet thing to do for young Bryn McCall.
Yeah, he had the isolation space there. Sort of all required for him was to draw his check into the middle, make a hard move, and then Podner had all kinds of space to be able to deliver a nice little leading pass there for the goal. UBC fights back, and it's been after an opening point of sort of some mayhem both directions. It actually has been a pretty tidy game, and every time UBC's made a mistake, UW's pounced on it.
Yeah, that's a huge one for the momentum of this game. UBC keeping themselves in it. The difference between 5-3 and 6-2 is humongous, cannot be overstated how important that hold was for UBC. And to do it so cleanly, I think, gives them a huge confidence boost as they get settled into their first game of the competition season.
Yeah, a little more history about the University of British Columbia men's ultimate program. Like we talked about, qualifying for college championships in 2005. For those super fans, that's kind of the Oscar Menzies Hibbert era. In 2011, they qualified. That's the Norris, Andre Galitz era. 2017. That's the Hunap and Friends era.
Yeah, Connor McFadden,
Yeah.
Musty. You get a lot of good characters on that team.
And then, of course,
Swaggy.
2025, that's about 12 or 15 of the current dudes that you're seeing right now. So, again, lots of experience here. And let's see if UBC can show some of that fight and some of that determination, and a little bit of that experience they gained last year as UW taps in a bricked pull.
Yeah, UW coming out with this offset, and that's just a classic spit in the sun. But what a bid by Erez, the energy guy on this team with a lot of skill as well, and what a nice play by him.
Yeah, huge block there by Cassier, Rez Cassier, and you can see that they crossed over Podner here onto this D point and see if they can capitalize. After getting turns on the first 2-0 points, they've been blanked since. So Podner's going to go every other here, looking with Colin Wu. And another huge block, back-to-back blocks.
And you can hear the UW supporters in the crowd. I'm guessing some of the women's team and some other friends that have come up go electric for that block. They're stoked to see that play.
Yeah, that was, you can see jersey number 15, a soft goal, but Podner snacks immediately on a errant bail throw, and now all of a sudden, UBC only has about 15 meters to go. Disc on the far side, Ethan Train now to Erez Kassir again on the doorstep, and he's going to flip it. Ooh, fakes him out, and there he goes. Podner a little up and at it, and UBC punches right back. 5-4 UW leads still, and UBC's got a little bit of momentum going.
Yeah, and you see Podner hitting the celly there. He's stoked, as he should be, on that one. You know, one of the most emphatic celebration enjoyers in the league is Justin Podner, and he's going to take an opportunity to do it there with a big momentum shifting play.
Yeah, looking back at last year's tournament list there for UBC, they started by going 3-2 at the Santa Barbara Invite, then 4-2 at the Stanford Invite, following it up with a nice performance at coming 5th at the Northwest Challenge, and it really set them up to go into conferences and regionals with just a ton of match experience. And I know we've talked a bit about this already tonight, but there really is no substitute for competitive games, and that's why something like tonight is so fun. So they get to play in a pressure environment, they get to play with, you know, a couple hundred fans watching, and puts them in that sort of like competition, feeling to be able to. So when they walk out into Santa Barbara Fields at the end of the month, you know, both these teams have a chance to draw on some of this competitive experience and some of that pressure experience.
Yeah, and Stadium Ultimate is such a unique feeling. So many of the games that you play, even when they're high pressure, are in front of, you know, tens of fans rather than hundreds, and it makes a huge difference to just be in this big space. You feel way more of the pressure, and you can see the effects of it a little bit, but the long-term effects will be building that confidence and being more steely when those higher pressure games come on later in the season.
Absolutely, and UBC immediately generates a turn, just a straight miscommunication with UW as they had their cutter going the wrong direction. Great effort there to try to keep it alive, but instead UBC could potentially get their second consecutive break. Miles Wong chases this one upfield. Beautiful leading throw. He's got a target. He will rip it immediately to Duncan Nichols.
Little bit of body.
Oh, heavy contact there in the end zone.
My bad.
No call there, but Duncan Nichols, he's felt worse, he said, and UW regained.
We like to see a little bit of body out here at T-Bird Stadium.
Yeah, and a nice momentum play by Miles Wong there, getting the disc and shooting deep, and just a good physical defensive play. You know, maybe a little more contact than some players would be comfortable with, but Nichols says
called on that up line.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, and immediately, as poetic as it could be, a foul called by UW on the up line with some contact as well.
That was overthrown.
The leading pass was up the line. They're going to go to the observer here.
They're going to the observer, but I think we should let the crowd decide. Do we think that was a foul?
So you can hear our stadium announcer, Jonah Leash, pumping up the crowd after that foul call.
That's right. Observer call.
Observer rules foul. The
right.
disc will stay on that sideline there.
Sorry,
Miles
guys,
Wong in pursuit.
We'll get him next time.
UW
with the disc.
Offensive group here, trying to get a hold to sort of get the train back on the tracks here. Looking upfield, immediately injected, nice throw, and a Huck
Big
instantly
Huck.
Perfect spot, right on the money.
Great shot.
That's
Yeah.
Leo Cruz
UW looking to finish
flipping
off
it
this goal
immediately
on the
to
goal
Willie
line.
Saxon.
A lot of body.
Saxon
A really good physical play by UBC, holding it at the line there.
Saxon's going to keep possession in the middle here. Oh, all kinds of time and day. Nice cut there. A little give-go. We got VDK there with the disc. Hanging it up. Nice hands on the far sideline.
That's a nice trailing end grab.
The door.
Back to the middle and a nice end zone set there by UW.
That's the score for UW.
UW, they tried that close sideline, then worked it back to the middle, far sideline, back to the middle, and then got it in. They were using the width of the field really nicely for that goal.
Yeah, taking it side to side and taking it to where the UBC would stop their momentum and using that momentum generated by the defense against them with a really nice break shot for the goal there. And I was really impressed by that huck there by Cruz early in that point. A beautiful fade shot across the field. Was able to throw it not too far out into space, but just enough where the defender had absolutely no chance at it. That right to left fade with the flick can be so dangerous when executed well. And Cruz just threw it perfectly there.
Yeah, and that was Gavin Fletcher with the goal. Fletcher, a rookie, studying poli-sci at UW. Beautiful campus down at UW in Seattle, Vint. I've been there a couple times, not just for Ultimate, but also to watch men's football at the Husky Stadium. So just a beautiful vista there, right on the water. You can see the Lake Union, and you can see downtown Seattle. It's just an awesome place. I can only imagine a beautiful place to go to school for these kids.
Yeah, wonderful place too to play Ultimate. It's a common destination for the tournament you alluded to earlier, the Northwest Challenge. That these UBC guys would have been to a number of years. So kind of fun having spent so much time these guys at UW campus for them to host the UW players up at UBC. Another beautiful campus in its own right.
No doubt. 6-4 UW leads pulling, and UBC quickly injects the pull into Ben Jang. Ben Jang looking to the far side. Davis Toth running a bit of a super tree crossing pattern there. Bryn McCall with the continue. Toth right on the money, and Bryn McCall can't hang on. That was a nice little break shot, and Bryn sort of got caught in his jump, reaching down for the pancake catch, and all of a sudden, disc in the hand of Ben Bolin.
Yeah. Another feature of this stadium is those little gusts of wind, and McCall was just taken off guard by one there, but then Toth just gets it right back. A nice little play. Oh.
And immediately another turn. Almost playing a little bit too fast there as Toth jumps in, gets the block, and then flips it to BJ, who was screaming through and was just a touch behind, and Ben Jang couldn't quite clean it up. Now, of course, this is Bolin picking up, immediately rips a break to the far side, and that is turned over just a bit too far, a bit too zippy.
Yeah. Time for a deep breath here. Justin runs up to the disc and decides better of it. It's time for UBC to play with a little bit of more poise and confidence here, and getting it to Miles Wong in the center is a good start.
Wong over to Podner. Podner on the close side here. Has a target downfield. Pump fake. Hits McCall up line. McCall's going to hang on to that one.
That's a nice catch, using his feet to stay in bounds.
McCall looking for the break. Back to the middle. Wong heard a call downfield. So he'll probably be coming in with a fresh count. Miles Wong with the forwards cap. UBC in blue, UW in white here. Exhibition play. Early January, both these teams preparing for the Santa Barbara invite. You can see Justin Podner scream down and getting under. He's looking upfield.
Davis with the disc.
Flips it upfield. Wesley Wong to Miles Wong. Looking back to Wesley. Miles Wong looking upfield, feeling a little stuck. Podner releases under. Justin Podner goes over. That's got some juice on it, and it will fly out of bounds. Maybe Vince just a little bit of an impatient decision there, but the UBC group not finding big unders or big outlooks, just sort of feeling content to move it in the handler space. It's interesting, you would like to see them open up the deep space. When they had their clean O, it was a really nice injection through a horizontal set and then kind of a free huck and then collected for the goal. So they're not really getting that nice flow. UW's doing a good job mucking it up.
Absolutely. And these guys are so talented in the small spaces. I think it can be a little tempting to be content to just get the disc, 2-3 yards forward at a time. And here's a nice opportunity for the Birds. BJ picking it up.
Yeah, a bit of a gift there as the disc drops on the center line there. Ben Jang going to the far sideline, and we'll connect for the goal. That's Wesley Wong, and UBC cleans that one up after a bit of a messy point. Vince, that's one of those ones where sort of errors beget errors. You saw like UBC made a mistake, then a turnover, then another mistake, then a quick turn, then an immediate give back, then a drop on the goal line. Like, it's those sort of points that can really catch up with you in the long run. But in this case, UBC is a benefactor of a disc positioned for them right on the front goal line.
Yeah, literally no better place to receive the disc than front and center, and BJ with good patient cashing it in.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a heads up, they are ticketing people in the parking lot right now. So if you haven't paid for parking, get out there, maybe bring some of your boys with you.
6-5 UW leads in this exhibition game. If you're just tuning in, we're live on trickshotlive.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Be Ultimate, Prime Ultimate, and Jointworks Chiropractic. Shout out for supporting the live stream, and thank you to everyone for this is a pay-per-view event, and thank you so much. Tell your friends to tune in. We've got a little bit left in the first half of the men's game, and then we have UW and UBC women right after this. So chip a few bucks into the pot and watch on Trickshot Live as we're bringing you preseason college ultimate action.
Rex
Ewan ripped the pull for UBC, drifting in deep into the UW end zone.
That's a good one.
Centered there. UW staring it down, bursts out of a pod, and they are ripping hucks relentlessly. Great attack there. Finn Hilty strikes deep.
Coming down with numbers.
And that's 33. Leo Cruz with a chance to move the disc. Moves it back.
On the end zone line.
That's Cruz and Goodrum working together. Disc on the far sideline. Oh, wow, a bit of a miscommunication there, but recovered nicely by UW and
UW 7.
UW with a beautiful huck, and then a bit of a miscomm on the front goal, but they make it count anyway. And UW extends their lead, 7-5.
Yeah, and just to what you were saying earlier, Kev, the UW is just way more content to work in these large spaces, and they're doing it with great accuracy. That is a not an easy shot with a nice big flick to the middle of the field, and he just cashed that in real good. A little head spike to celebrate it all in the end.
Yeah, they sort of burst out of, like, I was about to call it a vertical, but they used so much horizontal space. It's almost like they ran a bit of a split and send type situation, and that was Finn Hilty, who just took off the back, and then a perfect spot curled right into his chest. He slid to make sure, and then a few passes later, they were in the end zone. Yeah, like you're saying, my first sort of thought as I evaluate this game from an offensive perspective is UW is the more aggressive team, and they are there's a little bit more space on the field. They're attacking outs, they're attacking bigger unders, they're attacking the break space. UBC is running more of a handler driven offense, all off the front of the stack, all with their 2 or 3 handlers back running give goes. Both have their benefits and both have their drawbacks, but right now we're seeing a little bit tidier of offense from UW after their first point, which is a little bit of a grind.
Absolutely. And here's a nice big pull from Ben Bolin, and the pressure's right back on UBC. Got to score this one to prevent half.
Ben Jang with the disc in the middle, horizontal set, out to the far sideline.
Jang been so solid in that center handler position so far.
Wesley Wong with the disc, moves it back to Ben Jang, out to Miles Wong. Miles Wong now with the disc, looking upfield to Podnar. Instead, he takes off deep. Ben Jang can't get free in the reset. Good defense there by Ben Lewis. Wesley Wong with the disc, high relief pop pass into the middle, back to Wong. Wong looking deep, he airs it out. Wesley Wong going for the mega give-go, sealed nicely, and huge block there by Ben Bolin. Great read and got up early, elevated for the D. Nice play there. UW has a chance to take half of the break here.
And just a great read by Bolin. He was not the primary defender on Wong at that point, and he just peeled off his guy as soon as he saw the disc go up.
And sure enough, Bolin lets a rip. Miles Wong got the jump on that one. Immediately in. Again, the good help defense there. Podner and Wong, a little bit of a sandwich. And I think, to me, that looked like UW took a bit of a gamble there, but is probably living with the fact that UBC's going to have to go 70 now.
100%. That's that coffin corner start that you practice over and over again in practice, and you do that because it's hard. Jang is going to bring it up and with a great opportunity to get the disc going for UBC.
Yeah, you don't want to call goals in the first half must scores, but man, this would be a nice one to make sure it's tight going into the half regardless.
Miles with the clear out.
Immediate huck. Beautiful throw. Ben Jang finds Miles Wong. Podner on the doorstep and immediately sends it out. Miles Wong's going to rest under that one, cash in, fake a spike, but another nice play. Benjing opening up the deep space and hits his target, Miles Wong. It wasn't his first look, but when he saw it was there, he absolutely piped it, and it was just, 12, 13 feet off the ground the whole way. Beautiful huck, right on the money. Little give-go there with Pods, and all of a sudden, UBC right back in this. They trail 7-6.
Yeah, and as you see it again there, a really nice execution there in the end zone too, taking advantage of all the space with just one body in the end zone, just floating it out for Wong. He just was able to settle under it and wanted to give that a nice edge down spike, but thought better of it. And that's the respectful young man that Miles Wong is.
Well, the fans wanted a close game, and sure enough, they got one here. Conditions are pretty optimal for January in Vancouver, I'd say. Both Seattle and Vancouver are no strangers to the rain, and it sounds like we've got a boatload of milliliters coming in the next few days. But tonight, clear as day, gentle wind. I would say maybe a throwers stadium wind at play, but not messy. And all of a sudden, you got yourself a good ultimate game, a tight ultimate game between two Northwest rivals.
Yeah, what more could you ask for on a night like this?
Simon Ramirez Ortiz with the pull here.
It's kind of a fun case on this team. Not a part of UBC's USAU competition roster, but a very experienced player, a current student at UBC in the orchestral conducting program here, doing his master's, a Colombian superstar of Ultimate, and a great guy to have around the UBC Ultimate program.
Horizontal action. Ooh, big collision.
UW, that's Nicholas Goodrum.
Foul called, play stops.
Goodrum injects there to Willie Saxon. Two names we've seen out on this offensive unit all night.
Yeah, Goodrum's been extremely solid for them in the backfield, moving the disc side to side, taking advantage of those shots. And UW with a little bit of a different offensive set than we've seen here previously, kind of a clump on the side, this close sideline here, trying to open up lots of space on that far side of the field where a fresh player is just coming in to join the game.
Yeah, a bit of an isolation, almost a side stack or a split stack here. As they work, they've got space by the handlers and then tons of space down the middle of the field. We'll see what UBC does to gum that up. Disc comes to the close line here. That's Saxon. Saxon looking back for Goodrow.
Little miscommunication.
For Goodrum, rather, and instead Podner with the defense, and UBC's got a chance to break. Bryn McCall tracks it down.
Pick up the disc.
A lot of crossover here with their offensive unit. Ramirez into the middle there.
There's a call.
Rex Ewan with the disc. Looks like there's a call on the far sideline. Disc may go back to Ramirez Ortiz.
Yeah.
I see the uncontested hand sign from Justin Podner, so looks like it's going back.
Ramirez Ortiz played for Team Columbia at the 2024 World Championships last year and then the 2025 World Games. No stranger to stadium matches, this guy. And we'll have to see how he can impact this point at 7-6 down. It'd be nice to cash this one in if you're a UBC fan.
100%. And UBC looking to form a little structure here, be able to make some space in the end zone. Nice to get a break like this sometimes. It slows the momentum, but it gives you an opportunity to take a deep breath and get into your structure. And I'm sure Rex Ewan is looking to get the disc into the middle here so he can cook.
Any day now, guys.
Discussion finishing up. Ramirez Ortiz taps it in, injects it right to the middle to Rex Ewan. He has McCole on the close side. Instead, looking for Colin Wu off the top of the stack. Wu with the disc. Ewan attacks upfield. Ramirez Ortiz are running sort of a 4 or 5 person isolation up top. Ortiz with the disc. Over to McCole. Cole immediately back to Ramirez Ortiz. Looks to the far side. Justin Podner.
Nice loopy backhand, Justin Podner.
4 of them out top. Now you got 2 with Ramirez Ortiz in the backfield. And beautiful little cut there by Simon. And Podner, and it looks like there's a call. It's likely in with that group, either a travel on Simon Ramirez Ortiz.
Yeah, we're seeing the travel signal from Podner's defender there, so it looks like it was just before that last give go, and Podner's just walking it back, getting ready to tap it in, having a few words with his compadre there, making sure the communication is all clear.
That time of the game when things start getting a little
2 out, pretty solid end zone structure here with Ramirez Ortiz and Podner out. See Rex Ewan at the front of the stack. We'll see how UBC can manufacture this. UW's done a pretty good job of gumming up the end zone. I'd say they're winning the sort of end zone battle as it would go. Out to the far side, Ramirez Ortiz connects that one, and another call.
And yet another call.
We'll have to figure out what's going on here as It's getting a little
Travel
ticky-tacky,
call.
but that's why you have observers to come in, make sure they establish what's sort of acceptable and what's not. You see Ramirez, Ortiz, and Podner are out,
observers in a game
and
like
they're
this
coming in to have a chat
take
with
the
this pairing here to see what's going on.
That being said, you're in the audience. Feel free to
Yeah,
let
Kevin.
me know how you feel about this.
Really impressed by UW's reset defense in these last few sessions. They're really forcing some talented offensive players to move side to side and accept. They're not denying them the disc for 10 seconds. That's a little too much to ask, but they're forcing them to accept their maybe second or third option, and that makes a huge difference in just slowing the flow of an offense. And UBC is going to have to look to get that flow back with a few consecutive passes here. Just being a little bit more decisive is what I would love to see out there from those guys.
Yeah, they have their structure set up pretty nicely. I'd say just from the first half so far, I would say that UW's, winning the end zone battle, their offense in the end zones look pretty tidy, and their defense in the end zones look pretty tidy, and that's probably why they're up by a pair.
Immediately throws it to Simone.
Ramirez Ortiz now, Podner,
Nice little give and go.
disc on the close sideline.
Knocking on the door.
Colin Wu going for a little move, shimmy, shake, and runs to the front cone and cashes in. UBC with the break, 7-7. Next point takes half.
And just a nasty move by Colin Wu there. I was looking at the set thinking, wow, we're a little bit static here. Colin was going to have to get moving any moment there, and he just used that motion there, slowing it down a little bit and hitting him with that double move stutter step, kind of a rugby style cut, getting low and forcing his defender to jump one direction or the other. And as soon as he did that, it was just straight to the front cone there for Wu.
Yeah, and you can sort of see as soon as he gets the shoulder clearance, there's just not much the defender can do. He just works himself in. Podner with the disc on the front cone, and a skilled thrower with the backhand or the forehand. And as soon as Colin Wu gets that clearance, it's straight to the cone. Podner flips it for the goal. 7-7. Couldn't have asked for much tighter of a first half here, Vince. We're treated. It hasn't been the cleanest ultimate, but early season college, decent weather conditions, 7-7 game. Tough to ask for much more.
Yeah, both of these teams are just playing super hard too, which you really appreciate. Seeing those guys bust around, really make their cuts hard, play defense hard. That's what's so fun about college ultimate, is just the high motor and high effort play that we're seeing from both of these teams, and it's been an exemplary game so far in that respect. And Rex Ewan again has been pulling the hell out of this disc, and that is another big one towards the back of the end zone.
And it stays in.
Yeah, it's Bolin in the backfield there with Nico Epstein. Bolin looking for Bayer instead, using the width of the disc to Goodrum. Down the middle there, that's Nicholas Yin. Yin out to Asaf Golan. Golan looking into the backfield for Bolin. Instead, goes upfield. Carter Bayer. Carter Bayer threatens to air it out. Instead, he goes back to Bolin. Bolin to the far side. That's Goodrum.
And Miles Wong drawing the Bolin matchup this time, one of the elite handler defenders on UBC, but Bolin gets the better of him there on that cut.
Yeah, Goodrum with a little lefty upfield. Tons of space to work with. Pretty impressed with this UW unit here on offense. They've been able to make these significant sort of like spatial chunks. You've got the handler set, you've got the upfield set, and they give each other the space to operate. It makes it just easy for their skilled throwers to make the right decision. It doesn't always result in just an easy goal, but at the very least, they're able to make clear decisions. And it's been, when you've got the throwing talent like Goodrum and Bolin out there, they're able to work a lot.
Yeah, they're keeping it moving really nicely, and they get started again here a little bit out to the sideline. And their confidence to just take a slight loss before they re-inject it has also been huge to the way that this offense has worked.
Golan on the far side, Bolin and Golan working back and forth. Carter Bear explodes to the middle. Nice little swim cut there on Rex Ewan. Goes back to a soft goal in. Again, just a pretty barren downfield. Bear tries to jump it in. He says he's in. And the observer says he's in. Halftime.
And a little snow angel there for Bayer, a little north of the border tradition, showing his Canadian roots. He knows a thing or two about a snow angel.
UW takes the half 8-7 in this preseason matchup between UBC and UW. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes to set up the second half of this one-goal game.
Just a friendly reminder, there is a 50-50 raffle going, so if you haven't got your tickets in, look for
Welcome back, Ultimate fans, to this exhibition game between UBC Thunderbirds and UW. I'm Kevin Underhill on the mic with Vince Bullock. We're giving you the call here for this preseason matchup between the UW Sun Dodgers and the UBC Thunderbirds at the beautiful Thunderbird Stadium in Vancouver, BC. Thanks for joining us on TrickShotLive.com. Vince, give us your 30-second take of the first half. UBC trails 7-8 to UW.
Well, Kev, we've been treated to a great game of Ultimate so far, and the score just reflects that. 8-7 is as close as it can possibly get to end the first half. But we've really seen the storyline of UW having a bit more of cleanliness to their offense. They're making better space. They're making better pace. UBC is keeping themselves in it with some big plays, but they're going to need to find a bit more focus and a little bit higher level of execution if they're going to take this level of competition into the second half.
Yeah, this game on serve, as you would say, with UBC receiving here in the second half. A lot of familiar faces out there. Jang and Podnar and Bryn McCall out there. And let's see, the second half is underway. Big pull by UW, setting up a UBC offensive group. Podnar to pick up, injects to Miles Wong. Wong looking downfield into a side stack. Immediately looks for the huck instead. Back to Podnar in the backfield.
Little reversal of roles there. Jang has been center to all game, and he started going deep to that point, catching the UW offense off guard, but they were able to maintain a pretty good level of connection within their defense.
Wesley Wong now on the reception. Over to Bryn McCall. Little inside break there. McCall looking for Davis Toth. Instead goes back to Wong in the midfield. Nice high grab there on the far side. Looking for the inside shot into this vertical. Instead, we go Wong back to the middle. Blocked a little bit, but then hit Wong. Again, not using that big space, just content to use that space around the front of the stack in the handler space. Ben Jang with the disc now. Jang out to the far side, Wesley Wong.
Open side and
Jang, great
UBC
little step cut in the middle there. Wong with the disc, looking downfield.
Jang in his first season with the team is a transfer student from Langara. Already some great ultimate opportunity under his belt, and a big throw. What a grab down there by Wesley Wong. They call him Dub. What a sweet play.
Wong now surveying. Back to Miles Wong. Now we get a chance to see this end zone offense here. Jang quickly around.
So much speed from Wong.
Miles Wong surveying. Immediately Davis Toth attacks the cone, and again, that's been the recipe. When it's looked good for UBC, they've attacked that front cone with pace, and they've either rewarded it or bounced it and tried to do it on the other side. Nice little end zone set there for UBC. They tie it up 8-8.
Yeah, nice clean hold to start the second half and put the pressure back on UW, and that's the best UBC's offense has looked all game. So much pace and so much confidence, and they've got so many weapons, so much speed on this team, Kev, and it's great to see them creating enough space where those guys are able to cook. Wong's able to come across the front, and Toth from the back of the end zone all the way to the front. It's hard to guard those guys in a straight line, and they really exploited those matchups on that point.
Yeah, and again, that's an offensive successful point when almost everybody got involved in the play, right? We said at least 6 people's name, maybe all 7 touched the disc at some point. They got a huck off. That's kind of the recipe for this UBC Thunderbird team if they are to win. Just a reminder for everyone watching at home, we've got the UBC women versus the UW Element women, 2 staples of the women's program. UBC, of course, your reigning College USA champions, taking on UW Element after this match right now. So don't go anywhere. This is a thrilling 8-8 men's match, and then certain to be a thrilling one after this, as well as UBC kicks off their title defense against UW.
Yeah, and UW a great test early in the season for this UBC team, a semifinalist in their own right last season. So 2 really elite programs in the women's division. Sure to follow a great game in the men's division here. Rex Ewan once again with the pull.
Pulls up. Onside, a big hanger from Ewan. Beautiful pull. Is it going to stay up? Yes, it is. And again, that's Goodrum with the disc in the middle of the field. Goodrum fires upfield, and it's a turnover there.
Big chance here for UBC. Moving the disc fast to Colin Wu.
Wu out to the far sideline.
Keeping the disc moving laterally.
UBC, opportunity here. Wu cuts up line. Nice distribution there.
Up line from Colin Wu. Give and go. Doesn't like it.
Instead, Ramirez Ortiz on the far sideline. And it pops it in. Colin Wu with the goal. And that's going to be
that is a goal for Colin
a goal.
Wu.
And the first time UBC leads 9-8.
And Wu with just another sweet double move. He has been so tough to guard at the front cone of that end zone this game. Just a really talented player who's clearly brought a lot of emphasis and focus into that explosive kind of detailed-oriented footwork cutting. And it's really showing off well in this game so far. Kev, the lead here for UBC is their first in many points. How do you think UW is going to respond here in this next point? What's going through their minds?
Yeah, we get a look at the first time that UW has trailed today, and the first time UBC has led. So we'll be interested to see how this looks. And just to clarify, that was Kirby Clausen Honeyman on the far side with the connection with Wu. Simon Ramirez had his jacket on, and he's on now. Sorry for the missed call there, folks. And Ramirez is on now, and UBC has a chance to play with the lead for the first time. For all the flowers that we were giving to UW, starting the game strong, taking the early lead, capitalizing on mistakes, UBC has slowly gotten better throughout the game and has been a lot tidier as this game has gone on. They've probably only turned it once or twice in the last 6 points or 7 points. So, they're right in this, and they're showing why they were a Nationals qualifier and an opportunity here to take their first 2-goal lead and really make a statement in the second half.
That confident offense, Kev, from their D-line on that last point was just so huge, and the feed from Honeyman to Wu just so sweet to cap off that point.
Ben Bolin with the disc immediately fires it upfield.
Another
That's
simple
Nicky
pull
and-
play from UW there, getting it started with some good momentum.
Into Carter Beyer, and then a bit of contact on the upfield. That's not going to be called. That was Ben Lewis and Logan Hutton in battling for that disc, and sure enough, UBC with another chance for a break. UBC closed the gap at the end of the first half, and now have a chance to score the first 3 goals if they can do something about it. Rex Ewan loads up, fires to Simone Ramirez-Ortiz with Jacqueline chasing, and it's a catch and a goal for Simone Ramirez-Ortiz, and this UBC team is motoring now. Their scores of 5 of the last 6 points, and they take a 10-8 lead.
Vamos! What a shot there. Simone Ramirez-Ortiz doing great job. Lynn was really in pursuit there. He made a great play to make up that ground, but Ramirez went with that high pancake, 2 hands on that thing, and that's really nice, tough play by Sai, shrugging off the defender and giving UBC a 2-goal lead here.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a sucker for the high pancake myself, making sure of it at the very top of the jump, 2 hands on that disc, and UBC forcing UW into a timeout situation. And Vince, I mean, just a completely different script. At the very start, it was 3-1 for UW, and now all of a sudden, UBC has shot out to a 10-8 lead in the second half. Just a superb offensive clinic here. They looked really nice in the second half.
Well, it's funny, Kev. We're getting a little bit of a rewind to the start of the first half, where UW made some mistakes. Their offense was turning over the disc to start the first half, and UBC just couldn't capitalize. They went back and forth a little bit, and yet let UW get some dirty holds, but this half they've been so much more precise. They haven't let UW get away with anything, and it's just really forced UW to tighten up a little bit, and we'll see if they're able to right the ship after this timeout.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, UBC Thunderbirds and UW Sun Dodgers in preseason action here. Both these teams heading to Santa Barbara at the end of the month to really get their USA college season underway. We're bringing you this action on TrickShotLive.com with a UW and UBC women's matchup to back this one up right after at 8:30. Thanks to our sponsors, Be Ultimate, Prime Ultimate, and Joint Works Chiropractic for supporting the stream. And thank you to everyone for paying to view this match and the one after this as well. Hope you're enjoying a great game here. Vince, UW, what do they have to do to sort of right the ship, get the momentum back in their favor?
Well, what we saw from the first half with UW is that they were really effective when they were getting those large spaces, using the field effectively, and they just really can't afford to tighten up here. They have to continue to be confident. They have to continue to throw big shots and chew up big meters as they're working their way down the field. And UBC is going to come with a lot of pressure, so they have to be willing to be patient, but also maintain that aggressiveness. It's that delicate balance between the two. and that's really what's going to keep things effective for UW, and just maintain the jitters. We're hearing a little bit more energy from the UBC crowd, and that's going to make a big difference if UW's not able to stay within themselves and stay focused over this next couple points.
And it just hasn't been structural. It's been execution. So theoretically, UW's offense still looking good, just making some mistakes, but we'll see if they get primary position A here off the brick. So we'll see if they can use this vertical stack and generate some big space and actually connect and hit those execution markers.
Absolutely. UBC has just been coming out in this person defense all game. UW with a little bit of that vertical stack once again, just the reverse of that split and send, the Moses.
Yeah, Willie Saxon coming under with the catch. He's going to drive directly up line as well. Get that one from Griffin Lowe. Saxon back to the middle. VDK with the disc now. Upfield to Goodrum. Steady offense here from UW past midfield. Big, nice under there. That's Low. Low looking for Goodrum instead. Back to the middle. Safely controlled by VDK and then an around and a fortunate result. And Vince, sometimes you just need something to go your way to get some momentum. UW gets on the board for the first time in the second half and trail UBC 10-9.
Yeah, UW with a little stroke of luck there, but you got to make your own luck sometime. And that UW player that scored the goal, I wasn't able to see who it was able to just make a nice little play to keep their eyes on the play and follow through to get that goal. Their first of the second half.
Yeah, and not to take any credit away from UW, just really sound vertical offense there to get the disc at least to the end zone. A bit of a fortunate miscue there to finish it off, but nonetheless, righting the ship here, and 11-8 would be pretty dire. 10-9, all of a sudden, one goal game feels like it's anyone's.
Yeah, no surprise they're loading up this D-line a little bit here. Bolin is set to pull, and some other big dogs out there for the Sun Dodgers. UBC men's with a pretty classic O-line from what we've seen from them so far this game. Like we've talked about before, tons of speed, not so much size, but they've been focusing on this kind of more high-paced, handler-driven offense, and this is a group that's able to get that job done.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, Bolin, all kinds of power here. He's got the hair, he's got the beard, looking good. He's got the big arm, so we'll see where he drops this pull as UBC's offense get its first look since the first point of the second half. Bolin with the pull, that has a little too much air on it. That is going to sail out of bounds.
All the way out.
And a nice opportunity here for UBC to get set into their pull play. Looks like a pretty classic Canadian split stack here with Wesley Wong and Davis Toth isolated on the right side. Jang with the disc.
Strike out. Podner fills the space. Sorry, that's Miles Wong. Wong fills the space, looking downfield. No continue options, goes back to Jang.
Miles to BJ.
And Jang has just been ever available in the backfield and so solid at breaking the force here. It's really impressive to see from a guy in his first season with the team, although a little bit more experienced than a traditional true rookie, just entering this team and being shoved into this role in the center of the offense and playing a really clean and solid game for them.
Davis Toss slides to secure it. Jang times his bail cut, gets it in the middle, looking for Wong. Hits the continue. Wong back to Jang. Miles Wong can't spring open upfield, but Ben Jang breaks the force back to the middle. Oh, and immediately goes back. Jang gaining a couple yards. What are the options downfield? It's right to Miles Wong. Takes a little contact on the grab there upfield. It is not in, it looks like, as he just touched down right by the goal. Asking if there's a little bit of, not a push out, but like a keep out type situation there as he rode his defender right to the goal line.
Yeah, and it almost looked like Miles just didn't see the poached defender upfield there and milked the disc a little bit longer than maybe he should have. Of course, he made a nice play to hold on to it, but made the call for that contact, and we reset here with Wong with the disc.
Now we get a chance to look at this front cone offense, and Podner with a little bit of a spin move. He's more of a back cone cut there, and well done by UBC. Clean offense there. They make the lead, 2-goal lead, 11-9. UBC leads, and Vince, one thing I'm noticing from this UBC offense, the tidiness there, the pragmatism is there, the cleanliness is there, but they still are unable to crack that sort of second continue. You even saw off the split stack play, they cleared the space, they got the injection, but they could not get the next pass, and from then on out, it was dump swing with a couple up lines. It's good to know that they can do it kind of all ways, but I think in order to take that next step as an offense, getting that sort of second pass of 10-plus yards in consecutive passes makes a big difference to putting the defense into conflict and makes them have to play on one-on-ones and force themselves to protect the deep space. And so we haven't seen it all the way there yet, but what has shaped up is they're just not turning the disco.
100%. And that is the bare minimum, and I say that in a good way, that gets the job done, is keeping the disc alive. And what you're talking about, Kev, is something that they'll definitely look to work on as the season progresses. Getting those continual passes up the field that just make it hard for a defense to react and progress as the game goes on. But they're doing a great job of keeping the disc alive, and they keep winning these little matchups, like Wong up the line there and Podnar with a good play. Going to a space that was almost too small to get it to, and then flaring out to catch that disc in the back of the end zone for a nice little goal.
UW back on offense here. Disc on the far side.
UW in a bit of a side stack, horizontal stack.
Ewan looking active on the mark.
A lot of bodies in motion.
UW, big break force throw. That's kind of been their bread and butter, that inside forehand, as they've been against the forehand force the entire time almost. And again, there's another one really using that break side. It looks sustainable. We have seen them turn it over a couple times there. So Goodrum comes under to reset the batteries. Middle of the field.
And just a broken force there. Ewan made a good play to cut off the first one.
It's VDK again on the front line. VDK looking upfield. This is Golan. Sorry.
UW is just going to push right
UW moving it. Oh, beautiful handlers there. Tough to see their numbers on the back of these cutoffs, but UW, no matter who it was, this Faceless Army, give and go, and again, they've made their staple clean end zone offense, this UW team.
Yeah, just simplifying out there. Not too many guys in motion, and as somebody cleared all the way to this close sideline, he was able to throw essentially what's a skip pass, just a 10, 15-yard pass past the primary offensive look, wide open on the right side of the field. A really nice play.
Yeah, we've seen it now multiple times. UW has sort of made their bread and butter, that clean end zone offense. They clear space out, and that time it was Finn Hilty who just darted to the back of the end zone and got that skip pass that went all the way over the reset and just straight to the goal. And again, they've been able to be pretty tidy in the offensive, in the red zone, so to speak, basically all game. And that's good because it feels scalable. Like, it's a nice thing to have a really strong end zone offense. It feels like you can kind of play that against anybody, against any style. So UW should feel pretty happy about how their end zone's looking out. And now it's about shifting and using this sort of shorter roster they have here and applying some defensive pressure, because UBC's look pretty comfortable in the second half.
100%. Honestly, both teams have kind of settled into an offensive rhythm here, and it's really dictated the pace of the second half. Who is going to be able to apply a bit more defensive pressure is really going to dictate what happens through the rest of this kind of final third of the game.
UBC leads 11-10 and receives this pull. Ben Jang with the disc, staring up into the upfield space. Beautiful little backhand break to Davis Toth.
Just set up his defender so well there. Toth with momentum. There's a nice continuation cut. 2 consecutive upfields, what we've been looking for from UBC.
Wesley Wong now surveying, foot on the line, goes upfield, it hangs over Ben Jang a little bit, and Jack Lynn comes down with the block, and all of a sudden UW has a chance to break to tie the game. Golan with the disc now. Soft Golan looking upfield. Hits his target there, Carter Byer, and sure enough, he rips it. But Bryn McCool is in the neighborhood. Terrific reception there. UW with the goal and ties the game.
And just a nice play there by UW with the fast offense on the turn, kind of taking that immediate momentum from the drop or from the overthrow rather, and moving the disc to the middle, and Byer. Just a bold decision to air it out to the back of the end zone, out of the outstretched hands of Bryn McCall, who made a great play to get back in the picture there.
And that was number 13, Nicholas Yin, with the reception. Just a nice seal. Bryn McCall, extremely bouncy, good defender, made a pretty good read on the disc, but as you can see, Lin just,
Getting a little bit late.
excuse
into
me,
this.
Nicholas Yin just sort of seals
Battle.
Bryn
He's
McCall out
stacking his
enough
O-line.
to be able to
Rex
get
doing
that
double
separation
shifting.
and get up,
Bryn McCall
make the
double
catch,
shifting.
keep his feet in bounds. Really nice reception.
Yeah, just a really skilled play
Wait.
and keeping his feet in
No,
the
I
back
meant
there,
to
and
separate, so
and,
it's
and a
good.
really nicely shaped shot by Bayer there. He had to throw it
My mistake.
kind of wide and high to get it around Podnar, who's flying in on the mark, and he shaped it really nicely where it came down just at the back of the end zone. It was just beautifully done by one of UW's stars.
11-11 here at Thunderbird Stadium. Couldn't have asked for much better of an opener for this season.
What a
Not-
great ball game! Kev.
Not only does it put these teams into a potential, everyone wants to win. They want to get the job done. I know both teams are also thinking about the entire season, and a moment like this can help shape the rest of the season. You get that competitive edge, you get that stadium game, and you get a chance to play a game that goes right down to the wire. No matter what, we're looking at a close finish.
100%.
No.
And we see a little bit of a problem there from Davis Toth.
Looks like a little.
Could be a cramp. It could be equipment.
He's getting up a little gingerly here. You really hope the best for Davis Toth. You never like to see something like that.
No, it was just as the pull was coming down, he slipped and then he tried to get up. It's unclear what happened. We'll see if we can get a report for you all a little later in the game, but for now he's going to take a sub and he's moving very gingerly on his
Hopefully
right
it's
foot.
nothing too
Yeah,
serious.
the crowd with a nice applause, showing their support for Davis. Just a rock and an incredible culture guy for this team, one of the leaders this
Love to see a
season.
little sportsmanship.
Uh,
UBC and UW helping Davis tell
Sweet to see the boys take him off, but hard to see him take it down. Jang now with the disc, getting ready to put it back into play.
Yeah, we'll get a report on Davis Toth for you as soon as we can.
Ben
We
Jang
rejoin the
back to
action just
brick
past the brick line as Ben Jang brings it in.
UBC set up in a horizontal stack.
Willie Saxon on the mark. Ben Jang with the disc. Looking to the far side. Ramirez Ortiz gets up, stabs that one. Nice catch. And he looks for Rex downfield but can't hit him. Instead, he opts to go back. Safe choice. Back to Ben Jang, the center pivot for this UBC team. He's been playing great all game.
Colin Wu.
It's Colin Wu over to Podner.
Justin Podnar.
Podner looking for Bryn McCall. Shakes his check, but there's just no available space. Instead, it's back to Wong in the middle. Miles Wong staring down the upfield. Looking to Jang. Gets himself free. He looks for
UBC
Wong.
marching it down the field.
Big
layout.
bid there.
And a strip
Nice
call
defensive
from
play.
Miles Wong.
And Wong calling a strip on the play there, and we're about to take another look at it here on the broadcast. Just a really nice bid by the UW player there, and Wong just got there. He says just a hair ahead, making that pancake catch.
Yeah, that's Finn Hilty and Miles Wong battling for that disc. I can kind of see both perspectives here as we get another look at it in the booth, as Miles Wong feels he had both hands on it,
And the ruling on the field.
but
is
Hilty feels like he got there first.
turnover.
And that's the ruling on the field. The observers agree. Just a really nice play by Hilty, leaving his feet. Jang just leaving a little bit too much float on that, and Wong wasn't able to get to it in time. A beautiful defensive play.
And UW with a chance to break and take the lead here as they march it up. And there's a
Big
big hawk
forehand
goes
hawk
up.
goes
Ben
up.
Jang tracking it down, and it is on the money.
And that's a break
Griffin
for
Lowe,
UW.
number 95, tracks that
They
one
go
down.
up
His third goal of the
12-11.
game. And man, UW finding their stride in the second half since that timeout. They have scored 4 straight. It is 12-11. UW leads UBC.
Lowe just fired up there, and it has really been a game of runs so far, Kev. It's interesting, Ultimate has this balancing mechanism. If whoever gets scored on gets the pull the next possession, it should keep games close and not really cause momentum to let it get out of hand, but it always does. There's just something to the momentum of a game. When you score one, you build confidence, you build momentum, and you tend to score a few more, and it's UW right now riding that wave after UBC rode it after the start of the first half. UBC putting another O-line here, getting set to receive. And Kev, what do you think is going through these guys' head right now?
Yeah, I mean, on both sides, it's really being a game of runs, like you said, and UBC I mean, they've shown enough that they can run calm, confident offense. And even that last point, 3 or 4 passes and they were into the end zone area. But again, like we talked about, sometimes a game can be made or broken in the end zone area. And today, regardless of the score, UW has been cleaner on offense in the end zone and has been a little more aggressive and a little better at getting turns on their defensive end zone stance. And as a result, we have a 1-goal game, and it favors the team that's just played tidier in the end zone.
Yeah. And Bolin lets it fly on the pull here.
Hangs in the air.
Podner runs over to receive. UW completely set on their defensive setup. Rex Ewan with the disc. Miles Wong attacking deep, and Rex Ewan paints the backhand around. Well received by Miles Wong as he goes down to secure it. Looking into the backfield. No one really open. And it looks like he called a timeout or a foul.
And players walking off the field here. It looks like it's a timeout.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what a beautiful play there. Miles with a little in-cut takes off deep, and Rex Ewan, you know he's going to put it when he sees his target with some space, and he bends that one all the way down. Well received. Miles Wong with a sliding catch. Just a great hook up there. A couple of second-year guys, and now UBC has a chance to tie the game.
Yeah, and Rex and Miles, 2 players with a lot of history together, coming up together through one of our sponsors, the Prime program. And those 2 guys are just excellent ultimate players. They've come into their own in the Furious George program and the club scene for Rex last year and Miles in his second year with the program. And they were just immediate impact players on this UBC team last year in their first year and heading into you have to assume even more impact in this second season, and you're seeing it on the field right now.
Yeah, Vince. I mean, both these teams coming out of the bloodied Northwest. Both you and I have played in that division. I myself with the University of Victoria, you with UBC, and we've these sort of games, these sort of moments can help prep you for that sort of Sunday Northwest battle. Who knows how it's going to shake down this year? They're certainly going to have 3 bids as they have just so many strong programs. The Utah programs are thriving. UVic, UBC look good. UW Western look good. It's just an absolute bounty on the Northwest right now, and we get to see a couple of teams at the top of the rankings in the Northwest just going head-to-head right now in preseason action. And sure enough, UBC cashes in Ben Chang to Justin Podner again. And this game is all knotted at 12s.
And a nice little exchange there between Podner and his Team Canada teammate Ben Bolin. A little friendly smack talk, always a fun part of the game. Although he did get a yellow card, so maybe it wasn't so friendly.
Yeah, I mean, when you sort of get that first moment to celebrate. If you want to spike it, the spike was away. It went to the back of the end zone. That's probably fine. It's the extended looks. It's the extended discussion that's going to get you a yellow card at all levels. The team is heated up. Both teams are gassed up here for a 12-12 finish. We got less than 3 minutes on the clock. This is going to be a tight one down the stretch. UW's offensive unit walking back to the line with a chance to take a stranglehold here at the end of the game.
Yeah, and a note on the yellow cards, that's a new element of the USA rules this year. USA coming down a little bit harder on player misconduct fouls. Now all PMFs are going to result in a yellow card, and 2 of those, like in soccer or other sports that might have that system, do result in an ejection. So Podnar is going to have to be on his best behavior now for the last couple of points, and no doubt that he'll want to bring that fire within reason as Rex Ewing gets set to pull once again.
Simone Ramirez on this line, Bryn McCall on this line, Justin Podner on this line. I think this UBC team knows that this is a go zone type situation. Going down 13-12 with 2 minutes on the clock is sort of they want to get this one.
100%, Kev.
Disc in the middle of the field, UW moving it upfield. Immediately rips a huck.
Lady flick.
It's Bryn McCall and a great reception there. Ethan Gersel
and flips it for the score.
And cashes in. UW, as they've been doing all game, has been winning the take battle. UW takes the lead 13-12 here with only a minute left on the clock. It kind of looks like it's going to be a score in universe type situation or a game set match if UW can cash in. And UW, they've been doing it in the deep game all match, so it's no surprise to see it come up there. A really aggressive take and an awesome Sky flipping for the goal. And they've been delivering all week, they've been delivering all night, so they did it again.
Yeah, and it really takes 2 to tango with having a good deep game. and the guys on UW have been throwing beautiful shots, but that was a situation where he kind of let his guy make the play. And just a beautiful catch there, going up strong with one hand. And it looks like the fellas are a little unclear on whether the game might have just wrapped up there. We were under the impression that time was still on the clock, but the observers look like they've called it there.
This is absolutely classic. Not everyone knowing the time. The time on the clock might be a little different, but that is it. That's going to do it, folks. UBC, UW cashes in the last point, and the Sun Dodgers defeat the Thunderbirds 13-12 in this exhibition showcase. Vince, final thoughts on this matchup as we saw a fabulous Universe Point thriller to kick off the season.
Well, just an awesome game to behold here, and what a treat to get it here on home soil in Vancouver in January. Obviously, congrats to the UW team that came and brought the fire, but I think both teams have a lot to be proud of with a great first, really competitive showing before the season has even begun. Nice to see them play with so much fire, so much effort, and really excited to see future matchups between these two teams as the season goes on, and possibly as soon as Santa Barbara at the end of this month.
Yeah, and just as we recap this 13-12 UW game, I mean, we're familiar with Ben Bolin, Asaf Golin, and Carter Byers, these UW players who have established themselves on the club and international scene. But players like Nicholas Goodrum and Jack Lynn, solid on both sides of the disc all game long, really impressive. Finn Hilty with a couple of buckets himself, Griffin Lowe attacking the deep space. This UW team feels fairly complete this season, added a few rookies, a few guys, gets better and as the season goes on. And yeah, just an impressive showing from this UW team, traveling up to Vancouver, playing well. Again, no shots at the UBC team. Awesome performance as well on home soil. A lot to be proud of as they look forward to Santa Barbara. And Vince, as we're just about to depart here, we can look forward about 20 minutes to another awesome matchup between college superstar programs. Of course, UBC coming off a college title last year in Burlington, which felt like home soil, and UW, no slouches, making the semis as well last year. So just a couple of blue blood college championship programs get a chance to duke it out here in the preseason. So, yeah, we should be looking forward to that.
100%, Kev. Just an absolutely awesome matchup coming up. If you thought this one was great, two teams just at the top of their division, so much firepower on both sides, bringing back a lot of their talent from last season. So stick around, everybody at home. We're about to take a break here, but we'll be back in just a few short minutes for once again UBC versus UW, but in the women's division. Thank you for joining us here for the men's game. This is Vince Bullock signing off along with Kevin Underhill.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the start of this UBC UW women's game. And we're joining it already in progress, and I've got to tell you, there's already a goal on the scoreboard.
Hello,
That's Emily
everybody.
Marshall. I'm
live game.
Vince Bullock, joined alongside by
Avery Lee Pie.
and Avery. I'd love to hear your take.
Right
What do you expect from this game? This is a heavyweight matchup in the women's division. UBC, one of the top teams expected this year after defending a championship last year just down south in Bellingham, Washington, and UW, a wonderful team on their own, made semis last year and looking to improve even more this season.
Totally. So many heavy hitters on both sides of this field right now. Lots of returners too. I feel like both teams actually maintained quite a bit of their rosters from that 2025 college nationals run. Notably on the UBC side, a lot of veterans in their final year, like Mika Kurahashi, of course, everyone knows. Ella Bolin, another captain of the UBC team, Emily Marshall as well. Lots of recognizable faces on the purple side too who have stuck around either in extended kind of programs or just staying because Frisbee's fun.
Yeah, and really excited to see this matchup here. Fun to see a preseason ultimate matchup between these two teams. It's not really usual that that UW makes the trip north of the border, so this is really exciting to see here at Thunderbird Stadium in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. And UW is right here starting their first O point of the game, moving the field over here to the near side, and there's just a pick call that has interrupted play. Avery, what can you tell me about the dynamic between these two teams? What are, like, in your experience playing on the UBC women's team for folks at home? What do you see on the field? What is the vibe like in a UBC UW women's ultimate game?
Well, I can't speak to the current situation, but I will say, back in my day, we were all friends, very friendly. We really liked the UW team. All of the Northwest teams have a great relationship, even with U of O and Western Washington, of course. We consistently have a really high amount of bids for our region, and we always cheer for each other, like when we're not playing directly head to head, like we are in this matchup.
Coming back in, Lucy Tanner.
And we're back, Lucy Tanner.
And Tanner with the disc here in the center of the field.
Big under.
And just out of the outstretched hands of Gaudu, and UBC is going to have an opportunity here. Their first look at the D-line, and it's Marshall moving it back to the middle of the field. Near side, that's Brielle Wong. Central now, Grace Du. Moving it up, a really nice inside shot there. And UBC just so clinical in their offense. Even this D-line group really moving it nicely side to side here.
A lot of players on this D-line I'm noticing have played together this club season during summertime. So extended, both playing at UBC all season last year and then throughout the summer on a new club team, Sea Cows.
And what a nice grab there. That's just a beautiful play by Wong. And UBC is just looking like a wagon already to start this game. Just so much chemistry, like you talked about, Avery. That little Sea Cows experience, building some continuity over the course of the summer. And you can just see the chemistry and the experience. This UBC team is so confident and so poised. I wonder if you could take me a little bit behind the scenes and just like, what is it that goes into making a team that has so much chemistry, but also just so much confidence that we can see from this UBC group?
Honestly, such a great question. I feel like it's very multifactorial in Vancouver. Of course, like the Vancouver Ultimate scene for youth is quite strong. So a lot of these players have either played with each other or knew of each other sort of growing up and then staying local for university, joining in on like this program as well as our other programs, and then playing through a club. Just so many opportunities to play with each other, to spend time with each other. I feel like that really builds strong connections, which translates on field.
100%. And for those of you just joining us here, it's 2-0 UBC. A little bit of preseason ultimate here at Thunderbird Stadium in Vancouver, British Columbia on the UBC campus. And UBC is set to pull for the point 3 of the game, looking to cash in another break here while UW looks to settle the ship. Disc centered into Lucy Tanner after a little bit. Oh, and a quick turnover here. That's Claire Wang with a nice read on the disc. Back to Marshall in the middle of the field, moving it laterally. And UBC just so much pace and creating that good isolation there. And Jamie Jang with a little bit of an overthrow. And UW here, an opportunity to steady the ship. They've really got to take these here. Moving it back to Tanner, one of the centerpieces of this offense.
Big huck.
And an aggressive shot taken down by, that's Lisa Ng, I believe there. A nice play. Good read on the disc.
That's a rookie, Lisa Ng. Lots of space for Jamie Jang.
and Wang with just a really skilled inside shot. And
Jung with the
ooh,
assist.
Clean
is-
finish.
that is a
For
nasty
UBC.
play. Just shifting open in a tiny little bit of space there. That's Lauren Zeta Fung, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Uh,
Runner-up defender of the year. Such a great player.
yeah, and so much can be said about
Quick shout out to everyone
Zeta
who
Fung's
came out
defense.
tonight. Super fun to
Even
see
her
all
first
the
season last year, getting that nod for the defensive player of the year runner-up. That is some serious some praise from Multi-World. That's across the whole college division. But I love to see that aggressive offense from her, getting open for the score, and you can just imagine a player in her second year how much she's going to continue to grow over the course of her ultimate career.
Totally. I've had the personal privilege of playing with this particular player through my experience on Red Flag, where she played even when she was a junior. So before she was out of high school, she was already playing on an elite mixed ultimate team. So I can't imagine how that experience is just going to continue to exponentially grow in the college scene.
Yeah, and we're just taken into a timeout here as UW is down 3-0 early in this game, looking to steady the ship. And they're coming together, getting a big cheer off here, getting ready to put an offensive group out there that can kind of get the momentum right in their favor as UBC, calm and collected as always, putting another nasty D line ready to scope them out. We've got a great crowd here, Avery. It looks like over 100 people down there. By my very brief count, even filled out a little bit more since the men's game. People are stoked to watch some women's ultimate here in Vancouver. It's rare that we get to have UBC women's home games. I think Douglas Bowl last year would have been the last time that this team played in front of a home crowd. Although Bellingham felt a little bit like a home crowd last season at the club championships. So I'm curious if you can speak to what it's like playing in this, whether it's in Thunderbird Stadium or elsewhere in Vancouver in front of a crowd of Vancouver Ultimate fans.
I mean, it means so much because we typically play in the U.S. series, so all of our family and friends typically aren't able to come out and support us unless it's somewhere local in Washington. So absolutely great moment for this team to have their home crowd. And the polls up here.
Yeah, UW with those lavender jerseys, moving the disc over to the middle of the field. That's Hickey with the disc, and
I
she
love the lavender jerseys. Oh my gosh!
Starved for options, but makes a little bit upfield and then right back, moving it laterally. UW in this vertical set and a nice big gainer to Gadu. Gadu, one of the star players for this UW team, and we can hear her sister Anna Gadu, who's doing the PA announcing, absolutely stoked on her. What can you tell me about Lauren Gadu? That's a player that has been all over the ultimate media scene.
I would love to give a celebrity mic moment to her older sister, who I know loves her so much and is dying to say some words about her. So here's Anna Gadu.
Oh, Mike slapped me in the face. Just want to say shout out Lauren. Hey mom, hey dad. Lauren, excited to see what you do out here. Funny to see you on the field that Avery and I used to play on. And excited for these highlights to come out from tonight.
Sweet sister moment.
A sweet sister moment. And that's part of the beauty of this ultimate scene, close knit and nothing closer than a couple of sisters cheering each other on / talking a little bit of smack. Getting over to the far side of the field, back to Gadu. UW looking at their first red zone opportunity of the game, and an aggressive shot to the far side and just out of reach, and UBC taking over right away. And they just waste no time getting started. Hey, really, the momentum is a crazy part of their game.
Absolutely.
Fast handler dig in a power position.
That's Wu with the disc. Looking to the middle of the field. Central, a really nice leading throw there, allowing Mackenzie Harris to just let it come right to her.
UBC knocking on the front door.
And Eklund with the disc on the far side of the field. To Mu in the middle. And they're just working it around. UBC keeps their handlers kind of isolated. And just a little bit outstretched there. And UW, another opportunity, and they would really love to cash this one in.
Let's see UW work the open side. Lots of space there.
Far side of the field here. UW back in this vertical stack. And UBC just applying so much pressure. And what a grab there! Just a beautiful play by Gaudu, leaving her feet.
Nice work, Lo.
And she hits a nasty inside. That's a high difficulty throw right to the middle of the field. And they're going big.
We have a
And a
goal.
nice
UW
catch
is on
there.
this.
Anna Pettis with a
Way to work
beautiful
that
catch.
ladder.
And she just outstretched for that one. And UW has got to be happy to get a nice goal on the board there in pretty stylish fashion. Hey, Avery.
Absolutely. Dramatic knee slide. We love to see it. I believe Anna Pettis was one of the captains last year. I wouldn't be surprised if she's part of the leadership once again. Another senior player. I believe playing for BFG for club
Yeah, and that's
this past summer.
Those in the audience who are running
those
a
really
50-50
talented players
raffle
for
this
UW
evening,
are a
couple
huge
fellows
element
from
of
the UBC men's
what
ultimate team.
yeah, not even okay
Feel free to keep it going. Every support counts.
of what keeps them being so competitive in this women's division. The Seattle Ultimate scene is just so ripe with talent. Of course,
Totally.
we like to say the same about Vancouver up here.
Yeah, of course.
But that endless pipeline of YCC talent and players coming from out of state to play. It's just an extremely developed program, and they're on no shortage of talent developing even as they go through the college process because of those great adult club teams as well, like BFG, like you're talking about.
Probably a similar story to Vancouver in terms of youth scenes generating into college and then adult club, and just lots of connections being built between a lot of players and lots of chemistry, which is quite evident.
And these teams both heading down to the Santa Barbara Invite later this month to get their season actually started off. But this preseason matchup, a great opportunity to play ball. And here's Ella Bolin, one of the star players of this team with the disc, and another star, Mika Kurahashi. Our first look at her. Moving it to the far side of the field, UBCO looking smooth so far. Back to the middle to Bolin. She surveys the break side, a quick fake. Looking to the inside of the field, and it's right back to Kurahashi. Just impossible to guard, and an immediate shot to Emily Marshall. And it's just so smooth out there for UBC. It looks so extremely hard to guard.
I don't know if that was Emily Marshall in the end. I think it might have been someone we don't have listed here. Madoka, potentially? Do you have her? Was it Emily?
Yeah, let's take another look there.
34.
34.
I believe that's 34. It's Madoka.
It's Madoka. Sorry,
Surprise.
my mistake there. Madoka not listed, and I jumped from 34 to 35 in my brain there. A really nice play by Madoka to shift open, and Mika just hit her in nice space on the far side of the field there.
Totally.
A nice little leading pass. These teams got to, 100%. These teams got to see their, boys teams counterparts play a really tight game earlier. I'm sure that was a fun experience for them to cheer on their respective sides, but they've been getting warmed up and ready to fire here. And UBC has really come out of the gate strong here, building a nice 4-1 lead with 3 breaks early in the game. Their defense looking to maintain that momentum heading into this fourth point, up 4-1. In commanding fashion.
UBC with the pull, UW receiving, score 4-1 UBC.
Loving these matching sets UBC is rocking by their sponsor, B Ultimate. Gotta throw that in there.
100%. And B Ultimate also a sponsor of this broadcast. Nice little synchronicity there, and those matching kits are part of that B signature move. And what a nice little D there. Getting their hand on that disc. That's Kathy Huang, and immediately, wow, what a play by Huang!
Wow!
And putting it out to Brielle Wong on the end zone line there,
What's it gonna be? Let's
and
hear a
a lefty to the front of the end zone. What a nice play and LSF with that nice little finish there on the front cone, one-handed grab.
Oh, she should be hyped about that. That's huge.
And a really nice lefty find there by Brielle Wong. Brielle, a player still early in her UBC season that has already had so much impact. A couple of junior national team appearances, and a really strong, poised player. One of the key elements of their D-line last year as a handler, moving the disc forward. Happy to see Wong out here again, making an impact, along with her fellow D-line mate LSF, combining for that nice score on the front cone there. 5-1 for UBC. And Avery, these teams are building up to the upcoming college regular season here. Likely we'll be heading down to Santa Barbara later this month, and a number of tournaments will meet them on their quest to another college championship. What can you say about like the build of a college season? What kind of goes into getting from here to the national championships, which we've already referred to a few times?
Oh, it's such a long hustle. I feel like all these teams kind of formed so early in the school year, like as early as like late October, and then they just practice, start going to tournaments in January, and then the grind doesn't stop. Every 2 weeks they're at tournaments right up until nationals, hopefully.
And these teams are obviously not just ultimate teams. They're representing their schools, and these women are or women's ultimate players, I should say, are in full academic programs at pretty challenging schools. And wow, what an aggressive shot there! And there's a player underneath it, and a little collision. And those players just bounce right back up, no problem for them. Nice to see, a good aggressive play, but a little resilience from two players there, kind of accepting that contact was incidental to the play, and immediately that is Marshall there getting it started. And Wang, just a little miscue, and UW, a nice little red zone opportunity here. They would love to cash this one in.
Is that a breakthrough?
Spicy.
And just a really nice play. Kelly Tam going up high with two hands, snagging that disc on the far side of the field there. And UW, a nice opportunity there. Good defense on the right after that turnover, earning themselves a red zone opportunity and cashing it in. They're going to need to continue that kind of momentum if they're going to work their way back into this game, which we know that they're capable of doing.
Absolutely.
And this is a little preseason ultimate for those of you just joining us on Trickshot Sports here, and brought to you by our sponsors, B Ultimate, who we just gave a little bit of a shout out to, but also by Prime Ultimate, along with Jointworks, the local chiropractic service that so kindly sponsors all of the top Vancouver Ultimate teams. And we're really happy to have those community members be a part of this game, which is another showdown early in the season here between UBC and UW, following an electric game that we just saw earlier. And UBC, we get our second look at their O-line here. A lot of big name faces on this squad. It's exciting to see how they're going to work together.
Absolutely. Do we happen to see a Miss Ella Bolin out there?
I'm seeing Ella Bolin right there,
Ella
fourth on the
Bolin.
line.
I heard a little birdie told me that your dad is watching, so we're shouting out Jeff Bolin, who's recovering from something here, taking a look at his daughter, who's catching our pole right now, playing super great for the UBC Thunderbirds.
Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out Jeff.
And Bolin burns up line right away and just can't quite reel that one in. And UW with an opportunity, their D-line's first opportunity to have the disc. And they get it started right away to Gadu on the close side here, crossing over for their D-line. Moving it back towards the middle, UW gets right into that vertical stack with players cascading down into the middle of the field. They move it side to side here. A nice little lofty pass. Content to lose yards as long as we can get him back. And Gadu with a nice cut towards the middle. And that's number 23 there. That's Ladone working it back to the middle and a little give and go action as she gets it back right to the middle of the field. Hitting Gadu again. UW is moving it well, but struggling to gain yards so far, kind of working it backwards. And Gadu with that signature inside. She's hit a few of those so far this game. They're quite aggressive, but she's making them work.
Totally.
Into a little bit of an end zone set here is UBC chasing them around, but UW starting to gain a little bit of momentum here. A nice upline and another nice inside, and that's going to lead to a far side. And what a nice grab! That is an excellent play. That looks like it was Anna Pettis. Just an electric grab, as you said, Avery, one of the leaders of this team, and she puts her team on the board with their first break of the game. It's 5-3 UBC. A little bit of an exciting start to this game here at Thunderbird Stadium. And Avery, what can you say about the action that we saw on that point?
Oh my gosh, absolutely clawing back. That was insane momentum. Lots of nasty insides and break shots to lead to that goal there. Super impressive from the UW team.
Yeah, really nice to see how they kind of built momentum throughout that point, Avery. they're working it side to side, and they're content to hit these really challenging inside breaks. UBC's kind of trying to take away the around and make it difficult to throw side to side. And UW is living up to that challenge by taking the slightly more challenging throw, but executing it at a high level, at least as we saw on that point. And that led to a really nice right to left action that resulted in that sick layup goal by Pettis. They're going to look to build that momentum here forward as they've drawn a step closer. It's 5-3, and UBC's O-line is back out on the field, getting a little chat from their head coach, Ed Guo.
Beautiful night for typically rainy Vancouver. Nice and clear, low winds, allowing a lot of these shots to look absolutely perfect tonight. Not affected by the conditions.
Yeah, and these teams no stranger to a little Pacific Northwest drizzle, but we've been treated to a very nice little evening so far. Of course, there's the stadium gusts that we tend to get in an environment like this, but these teams have been unfazed by them so far, and Bolin hitting right back up line just like we saw in the last point. Faking it to Kurahashi and then hitting her to the middle on that 7 cut. Right back to Grace Dube. She pivots outside. A little bit of a clump on this side of the field, but that's no objective for Kurahashi. She makes a good play here. Looking towards the middle of the field there. That's Madoka walk. Far side here. Jamie Jung back to walk. Right on the goal line here. And a nice over the top. Just a really nice play by Wa. And that is a hard throw to guard. She's got that high release point. She basically put the disc behind her defender's shoulder before she released it. That is a high skill throw and a really nice clean hold by UBC right in the ship after their first O-line turnover of the game on that last point.
Love that. Also love to see Madoka getting involved with those end zone sets, mostly a receiver and cutter and a lot of pull plays last year in the O-line. So that's huge. It's a great throw.
Yeah, and this is Madoka's second year on the team, if I'm correct.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
Nice to see her continuing to expand her role here. It's a big part of any sort of team that's looking to repeat in a championship. It's such a tall task, but to have players continue to step up, it's part of the motion of college ultimate. You know, players careers have a ticking clock. You have 5 years of eligibility, and so as players continue to roll out of the cycle, new faces need to step up. And it's these little moments, early in the season where a younger player starts to take over, make a big impact that can really compound into that effective team-wide depth that's going to be crucial to repeat as UBC's sights are surely set on.
Absolutely. That was poetry, Vince. You couldn't have phrased that any better.
Well, and maybe we should talk a little bit more, and as this point gets started, about UBC's title aspirations. Their first title in many, many years in kind of the modern era of UBC Women's Ultimate was the culmination of a lot of deep runs into the bracket. What do you think it's going to take for this team to repeat this year as the disc goes to the far side?
Honestly, a great question.
And D's like that are sure to help. And perhaps we'll get back to this conversation in a second as it looks like we've got that might just be Ella Bolin picking up the disc.
Maybe Emily
Marshall. That's
Marshall.
Emily Marshall. It's
so hard up here.
We're far away. We're doing our best. Not the pro vision that Kevin Underhill had in that last game. Back in the middle, this is Shirley Marshall.
Yeah.
And that's Brielle Wong.
Yeah, that's correct.
A nice play to this side. LSF with the disc, moving it up.
Claire.
A nice play by Claire. Claire Wang coming off of her first national team appearance at the Beach Worlds. A great player for the mixed division there, and she makes a nice feed and goes right to the end zone, and Claire Wang's going to chase that one down, taking over, and Marshall with a pretty nice play herself, and UBC with another break. It just feels like they build so much momentum. Their D-line offense is so stingy, so hard to guard, and just another great show of that here. And where everybody's dapping up. It's a 7-3 lead for UBC, and UW is going to have to put out an offensive line that can score here if they want to avoid halftime at the end of this next point. So they're going to take a moment to do that. It looks like we're hitting into a timeout. So perhaps a great opportunity to get back to what I was asking you about earlier, Avery. Yeah,
I wish I had an answer for you, Vince. I feel like there's a lot of reflecting, but I think one thing is to say that the coaches on this UBC team are very, very strong. They've worked together for a super long time, and they know these players well. Guo, for example, their head coach, has coached a lot of these players in their youth and really built them from the ground up. So even before they came to college, they were already kind of working on a lot of the principles that he was trying to instill in this team. So I think that's already a really strong push for them to keep going for a title this year, because all of their rookies have been under his kind of leadership and coaching style already for the last 3 or 4 years, maybe longer.
Yeah, that's a great point, Avery. And the coaching staff that you alluded to, that's Edward Guo, it's Jonathan He. Are there other members that you would want to shout out?
Miss Vic Lamb herself.
Yes.
She was actually my coach. We just hit our coaching player decade anniversary. Amazing human. Many of her siblings are involved in Frisbee. They've contributed so much to the Vancouver youth scene. Many of these players would not be who they are without them.
Yeah, pretty special contribution there, and founding members of our sponsor Prime Ultimate as well, Ed Guo and Vic Lam. So cool to see how involved they are at the youth level, but also at the college level here. And UBC has a lot to show for their leadership, as well as the wonderful players that have populated this team over the years. And UW bringing out another offensive line, and no surprise they're getting nice big unders to do on the far side, and she's hitting with the inside flicks, but this one intercepted. What a sick play, a physical defensive play, and a nice sliding grab too on the far side as UBC builds momentum towards a play to hopefully take half for their squad. Back to the middle. A nice gainer on the far side. And
momentum is the perfect word to describe this. But it just dies a little bit there.
Just a mild overthrow there, and UBC gonna work again to try to generate a turnover, but UW with the opportunity to go 70 for a big gain. And a goal that, you hate to say it's a must score, but it really feels like it would be a huge momentum shift to be able to punch this one in, and they're going deep to Gadu right away. A really nice throw there. That's number 4, Raylan Slauson with a nice play, and Gadu goes far side, and Elena Boyle went up big with that right hand and almost reeled it in, but a really nice defensive play there by, that looks like Elland. Really nice play.
Lots of momentum both ways that time for Element.
And
we're going right back. UW about to join us for another red zone opportunity, and this has been how they've gotten a couple of their goals here, playing good defense off of a turn and getting the disc in the red zone. Let's see if they can punch this one in.
Nothing quite like a short field turnover.
We're 1 or 2 away. What's it gonna be?
Far side, that's Shui Lorena.
Back to the middle.
Center of the field here. Gadu with disc.
Energy up from the booth over here. It's getting exciting.
Moving it sideways, and a nice little punch in there.
And that's another one.
That's Kayla Hickey with the goal. A really nice play, moving it side to side, and nice to see UW building a little bit of confidence in their end zone offense. Their end zone offense has been, I think, one of the strengths of their game so far. It's getting to the end zone has been a little bit of a struggle, but once they're down there, they look really poised. They move the disc side to side really well. They break the force well. What do you think that UW can do to get more of those opportunities where they're able to kind of get into that space where they're so much more confident?
I mean, I agree by saying that their throws are quite strong. I feel like staying loose, like Lauren with that last play, just a really chill kind of backhand, almost dad pass looking. I feel like staying loose and calm, maybe some nerves being up here, having the visitor disadvantage, I guess. Maybe playing a little bit tighter up in their heads. I feel like just staying loose is how they're going to claw back and prevent this halftime from going to the T-Birds.
100%. And like you're saying, it's a big environment here in the stadium crowd. And, apart from semis and finals at college nationals, there aren't many college games that are played in front of a crowd of this size in a stadium, kind of with this energy, with the stadium announcers. It's a really unique experience, and really nice for both of these teams to be getting this early in the season, whichever way it goes. But now it's UBC's offense stepping onto the field with an opportunity to punch it in and take half. They're up 7-4 right now, looking to score their 8th. Big pull coming up. And that is a rocket Bolin back to collect it into Dew.
Bolin to the middle.
And Dew, just one of the most talented throwers out here. And they're going right back to the well of Bolin going upfield, but this time it's not the main action. It's a decoy, and Kurahashi gets it and finds Bolin a little bit more up the field. Back to Dew, moving it really nicely side to side. Just so much action. Ella right back up line, and a cashed in goal there to the far side.
Did someone say half?
Clean and easy.
And that looks like Mandy Lee reeling it in. Just a beautifully executed offensive point. Really doing a great job of building momentum. And then when UW is responding, taking off, that's like Bolin starting upfield at the start of the point, drawing a lot of attention, and Kurahashi just coming under and collecting that nice big under, and then moving it side to side until they were just one pass after another into the goal. So as we're leading into halftime here, Avery, any final words before we take a little break?
Awesome first half. Keep it going. I don't have much else other than good job.
Hard to say anything other than congratulations for the way that UBC is playing so far. Really clean, really aggressive. And we'll take a little break here, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes to set you up for the second half of UBC versus UW.
Silver carabiner, meet us near the door. We have your keys. If you really love
All right, we're back here on Trick Shot Live, bringing you a little bit of preseason ultimate here between UBC and the University of Washington. I'm Vince Bullock, and this half I'm joined by a new guest, Anna Gaddu, hopping on the mic to commentate here. Anna, what did you see in the first half, and what are you excited for as we load up this second half here?
The first half was exciting. I can see a lot of energy on the field. I can feel it up in the booth. UBC is really quick, working the disc up the middle. They are really quick to get their interception and just crank that all the way to the end zone. From UW, we have a lot of risk. They're willing to take these risks with the long shots, and I'm excited to see how they turn around this second half. They have an opportunity. They're down 4-8 right now, and I'm excited to see what they got.
Yeah, what do you think the keys are here for Element as they look to right the ship? Down 4 early in the game, it looked like UBC was just building so much momentum. What can they do to kind of steady themselves and get back into this game?
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure it's super intimidating to be in a new stadium. I don't think any of these Element players have ever played on this turf before. I think if they can just, pull up their boots and know that they got a first half underneath them, they can just put what they put out their best and just work with each other. I think that's what they need this half right now. I think it's pretty hard to beat this UBC team right now, but let's see what they got.
100%. Any team, any college team in the country would be struggling against this UBC team. So UW's got to be happy to have some points on the board. They had some really good moments in that first half, and like you said, this is all new for them. Like coming up across the border. A trip that Canadian Ultimate players are very familiar with, crossing at the Peace Arch and heading down the I-5. Probably the first time for many of these UW players to flex out their passports. And,
for sure, and what a treat for them to be able to play this UBC team who did so well last season. Both these teams did really well in the national championships last year, and excited to see what the rest of their season brings.
Absolutely, and the pull is off here, and it looks like there's a little bit of a call. Most likely an offside. That tends to be the thing that's able to be called on pulls, and UW picking up the disc here, figuring out exactly what should happen, and it looks like we're about to get a repull here, so an opportunity to start fresh for both sides.
There you go. There we have it. That's crazy. Trying it again. 2.0.
Yeah, hit the reset
hit the
button.
Hit the replay. But I want to say thank you to the observers. It's really nice to be able to have other voices here to help to manage the game for both the men's and the women's team. It's nice to have this, really represent a full on game like you'd have in a normal tournament. Here we go.
They've done a great job so far today.
Back for round 2.
Absolutely, and a really nice pull there, rolling out just beyond half, but
Tanner picking it up.
Tanner looking towards the middle of the field here, and UW with a lot of these cascading cuts. They have a vertical stack that just breaks out so frequently. Gaddu here on the far side, surveying the field, and an aggressive break shot around and just a little bit too far for her receiver, and Emily Marshall's about to pick it up on the sideline, and UBC will look to get right back to work. Their D-line offense with the pace as always, and weighing right to the house. Marshall puts it out in front of her, and she just quite can't reel it in.
Unfortunate. Lauren, pick up.
Might be a white elephant.
And another aggressive shot there.
Go deep now.
And, a little bit of contact there, and
there we go.
That's Joyce Hui there, the intended receiver, making a really nice aggressive play to go up and get the disc, and now a little bit of debate club figuring out what the result was.
Looks like we got Shay down there talking with the observer, the player on UW, trying to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, good to see both players, expressing their opinions, using their hands. That's a big part of how you win a foul call.
I love a highlight replay of, the hand communication. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and as we see that again, there was quite a bit of contact on that one, and it's up to the observers to figure it out.
Come on, let's get going.
Along with the players, I should say. And once again, this preseason ultimate, a really nice preview to the season for two of the top teams in the women's division. UBC has looked really strong in this kind of start to their championship defense, but UW here with a chance to punch in an offensive hold to start the second half.
Not every team gets opportunities with observers early on in the season. Being able to work through these situations early on is really going to play out down the line.
And play is resumed here. Quick reset to do, and wow,
absolute punch of a D.
That's a really nice play. And
Looks like we have an injury.
yeah, a really nice D there by Emily Moo, kind of sneaking in there, putting her hand in front of the disc. And then just an injury on the field. UW bringing in a new player. That's Millard Kish coming in, tapping the ground to resume play. And another stoppage here. We're getting lots of that observer experience, Anna, that you talked about being important.
Exactly. It'll pay off.
Yeah, and making this feel as much like a high-intensity game early in the season as possible is a big part of what both of these teams are interested in. Marshall to the far side, Claire Wang, ever available and aggressive, a big backhand shot.
Excitement in the air. Wow. A lot of players under that disc. Looks like it's a turnover, picking up from UW. Lauren Gadoo, once again, looking to the middle.
And just can't quite reel it in. Yeah, a little bit of a back and forth point here to start the second half. There's that kind of flow that both teams had gotten into has washed away a little bit. But now, Brielle Wong, Claire Wang, a classic
Nice
combination and a beautiful little over-the-top shot. Gadoo making a good play there to be close, but Brielle just lifted that disc just out of her reach. A really nice high-skill throw.
Yeah, UBC really has their end zone on lock there. They know exactly what they're looking for. Brielle, that quick shot right to Claire Wang. They practice that over and over and over. I think UBC is really lucky to have a lot of years under their belt of high match games. It's really going to help them, continue to elevate their game.
Yeah, and in the first half, I talked with Avery a little bit about what makes UBC such a wagon, such a powerhouse. And you, Anna, as well, are, of course, a multi-year vet of this team and got to be around for that championship team. I'd love to hear your take on what has made UBC so elite over the years, and especially last year and kind of feeding into this year. What is it about the practice environment, about the way that you treat games, about the way that you improve that makes this team so awesome?
Yeah, I mean, UBC's totally a present. It's such a special thing to be able to play on this team, and I think that's given me the awareness that this team doesn't stop. They will take every opportunity, every late night practice, every game to just really put everything out there. You can see that with the energy on their punches through their D and their precision on O. This team is high caliber and always has their foot on the gas. Even in tough tournaments, they don't really seem to give up. And I think that really taught me a lot as a player and a teammate and a human. It's pretty awesome.
Beautiful thing to be a part of. And here's another pull here, preseason ultimate on Trickshot Sports. UW collecting and ready to get going. Stamberg into the middle of the field. And just a little bit outside of the reach. Good offense there to start
Savannah
it for UW.
Tucker there.
Tucker not able to reel it in. And Bolin coming over towards the disc. Or sorry.
I think
that's Emily Moo.
Emily Ma. Back to the middle and an interception with UW. Looking for a quick little pace shift right here. Let's see. Looking for a reset. Back to the middle, number 17.
Stoneberg with that really nice play there to get the block, and she gets it back in the middle of the field. Little give and go action and knocked away.
This back and forth is really giving them giving the defense a lot of opportunities to just keep their hands up and get those kind of blind Ds.
Yeah, Audrey Nichols with a really nice play there to knock it away. Now she cuts out away from the disc. UBC trying to get back into this offense. We're seeing a little bit more of UBC's depth out here on the field, and they're working it well.
Wow, incredible run through D. That's Rowan Lynch with the D.
Rowan Lynch.
Just an explosive play by Lynch.
Incredible, looking for
the house.
Oh, incredible bookends from Rowan Lynch. Hey, I got to give it to her. That girl's had a lot of seasons under her belt with mixtape. She's proved last year with UW and this year. She's here for it.
And
this is going to be Rowan's season.
How on earth did Lynch reel that in? She was absolutely draped over by the defender, and she found a way to get her hands on that disc. Just a extremely high leverage play.
She
getting
does
that
not
D going
stop.
straight to the house. She does not stop it. And UBC now, not able to quite cash in that break to start the second half. And their second break out of the half, and time for their offense to retake the field for the first time. in quite a few minutes here in real time. And they're throwing around the disc, getting ready over on the far side.
You have to say, Ultiworld is probably pretty jealous they're not streaming this event. This is going to be the game of the year. You know, this is a huge preview to like not only each and every tournament that's about to come up, but also nationals. That's obviously down the line and on the minds of every single player out in the field today. But being able to, you know, shake it all out in January, super exciting.
Yeah, 100%.
Excited to watch these teams, you know, throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I'm curious for somebody that's been to nationals so many times, Anna, how much are you thinking about that tournament that lives so big in our minds at this point in the year?
It's always there.
It's always there.
Looming. Hard to not think about it, but also, you know, gives you opportunity to really focus in on the moment. We have Ella Bolin looking strong on O-line.
And that's Kurahashi coming right under, and she looks to the house but waves off an opportunity to throw. That's Wild coming under.
Big under.
She's getting so much separation and just overthrow to Jamie Jumbo.
And
That's
saved!
A nice little
that is a
play.
UBC
picking
save.
It up.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. UBC on the gas. They always have someone there.
That's Nina Sai catching that goal, doing a great job getting underneath it. And, you know, we talk about that. That's make your own luck.
Exactly. And hey, I don't know if this just comes with being an alum, but I really need some binoculars up here, trying to look down and zoom in on these numbers. I don't know if it comes with age or the booth, but it's tough up here.
Yeah, it's Thunderbird Stadium. We talked about it a little bit in the first game, but for those of you that didn't join us, this is a historic stadium in Ultimate. It was the host of the World Championships back in 2008 when some of these players were just getting born. And it is a wonderful place to watch Ultimate, but the Ultimate does take place kind of far away from where the crowd is at.
Did you know they also filmed She's the Man here?
And they also filmed She's the Man here.
Amanda Bynes has been here on this exact turf.
And she blesses us all with her retrospective presence.
Thank you, Amanda.
Shout out to Amanda Bynes. And once again, this is a little bit of preseason Ultimate out here on Trick Shot Sports, sponsored by B Ultimate, Jointworks Ultimate, and Prime Ultimate. Jointworks Chiropractic, I should say. 3 community staples here in the Vancouver Ultimate scene.
And for those just joining us, we're at 10-5. UBC. Are you doing the draw? Pulling again.
Yes, sorry, no. Okay. They're playing, right? What's the score? Yeah, they're playing.
And the score 10-5.
UBC looking for their big pull. UW on the receiving end.
The 50-50 is officially closed, folks.
And a nice rip there. UW looking to steady the ship here, centering the disc to the middle of the field, and some quick action out of the vertical stack, getting the disc to this close side. That's Slauson. Looking towards the middle of the field. She'll settle for a reset to the close side here. UW pinned on the sideline, surveying upfield. Can they get it back?
We got Sophia Palmer and a potential stall from Shaylin Wu.
And just now that we've paused here, you can take a look at where the players are positioned for UBC. They're so centered around the disc. This looks like it's still a match set, like it's person on person.
Definitely.
But they're being really aggressive, trying to force UW into some challenging
And
throws.
as that stall's increased, you can definitely see those defenders creeping in, trying to clamp down on that side disc. You know, really trying to stress Sophia out. Let's see what she can do. Looking around, reset, nice reset to the middle.
That's a huge throw there for UW, getting out of that jam.
Got to give it to Soph. She's been around a long time. She knows exactly what she's doing. Nice bid from UW.
Nice play there. That's Matsutori making the nice grab on the far side. Back here to Hickey. A nice under, gaining some yards. Brielle Wong on the mark. And once again, UW stuck on this far sideline, and a foul call there, but just showing how tough it is when UW gets to this sideline to get it off the way UBC is defending with this high intention but also high energy.
Check out those hand signs. We got some good action down there.
We do love some good hand signs.
Even without us, you guys would probably be able to tell. This is a big conversation happening down the field right
100%.
now.
100%. And we're seeing the arrow pointing to the observer. The observers will confer using their mics, their headsets, and the observer ruling is that it's a foul, so the disc will stay with UW here in a huge point for them, trying to get back in this game any way they can. They've really got to get
still
some
in the
points
hands of
board.
UW.
Hickey with the disc on the sideline.
Seem to be looking for that nice middle reset.
And finding that's the one that UBC is leaving And if they're able to break out some momentum here, that would be huge for UW to be able to move the disc to the far side of the field. But they do stagnate a little bit. Back to Hickey. She's been really driving the offense from the backfield here.
Over to Soph, looking dominant, looking for that end zone shot.
And this is where UW's looked more comfortable when they get it to the end zone, when they work it around.
They
just look
strong.
smooth.
Just like that. There you go. That's a point for UW.
And a really nice aggressive defensive play there.
Yeah, their end zone's looking strong.
Yeah, Mackenzie Harris was really close to that disc, but UW, yeah, they just got to get it into those 20 yards.
Yeah, once they get it within that window, they are looking really good. And, UBC is really focusing on that clamp down on defense, but UW seems to kind of like take over with their energy and stay reserved on that.
Yeah, the first couple of times they've seen it, that sideline trap has really overwhelmed UW, but on that point they were able to break out and find the defender that was out of position and the offensive player that was kind of being left in the middle of the field. It's not an easy throw to hit, but if you're faking effectively, like that player was on the sideline, it really can open up. And, UBC is willing to give that up at the expense of a lot of pressure on the sideline, but that's how UW is going to counter that action.
Totally.
And now UBC's O-line, after a little bit of a time break, it was only 1 point, but it took a while, is getting ready to receive their next O point. Nice for them to get some quality reps here as well.
Yep. Score at 10-6, UBC in the lead. UW crawling back, 4 away from tying that up. And it's really exciting to see that back and forth, getting an opportunity to see both O-lines from both teams sharing that pressure and the stadium lights.
Yeah. And as the game kind of has gone on here, both teams are developing a little bit more. It's hard to kind of grasp it given how confident, especially UBC looks, but this is the first real competition that they've had all season. They've been practicing together kind of just in their own environments since September when school started. And this is their first opportunity to really get after a competition that's not their own team. And that can be a really, you learn a lot about yourself the first time that you see a different
I'm pretty sure that
jersey.
UW went to Fudge down in Oregon. Not sure if UBC made it this year. Oh, looks like we have a huge put up from UBC.
And do with just an extremely aggressive throw.
Wow.
Wow.
That's sick.
That was a great
That's my
D.
sister.
That's Gadir, baby. God
That's
did
a good
that.
one.
That's crazy. What an incredible
Way to
play.
keep it clean, Lo.
And yeah, no complaints from the UBC receiver. Gadir just hit
But
that
I like
right
to
at the
see that.
half
Being
line.
able to see UBC, show their arsenal of
Yeah.
deep throws. Looks like we got a big deep
Speaking
game
of
going
which,
back and
and
forth over here. Close grab.
And Lauren almost made that happen.
She's close.
She had no business catching that thing, and she got a hand.
Hey, you
almost
can't have
on
it all.
You sure
But I have to
can't.
say, a couple minutes ago, I was going to say that we haven't really been opening up this game on either side of the field. It's really exciting to see those deep shots come out, especially in the second half.
Yeah, and just a really aggressive throw there by Grace Dew, and it almost worked. Any defender other than Lauren Gadu in the neighborhood, and that would have been a UBC goal. Nice one-handed snag
Looking
there.
for another one. We got some pressure from UW.
Woo!
Another smackdown. Hey, and for those at home, I want you to know that there's a handful of people in the audience right now. They are cheering so loud. Watching this exciting. This ball is really getting going.
Yeah, that's the pleasure of live Ultimate. It's Ultimate in a stadium. A wonderful crowd out here, and of course, this game is a fundraiser for the Ultimate teams, but it's also a community experience. Without pro in Vancouver and so much of the Ultimate just being played in college and club, these opportunities where you get to have a crowd together in the stadium are just so special. And UW is now their D-line offense moving it around.
They are in it. They are not giving up.
And some faces have crossed over from their O-line, moving it really nicely here.
Still working it up. Nice grab. I think that's Isabella looking over to Anna. Wow! University of Washington Element. They are up.
What an
Another
incredible
point.
shot.
We got 7 points on the board against UBC at 10. This is getting exciting. This is the second half that we wanted to see.
Yeah, and I got to say, Elements, the big difference in how they're playing in the second half is just their confidence. They're coming out.
They've totally leveled up.
It's easy to play against a juggernaut team like UBC and kind of feel like you're going through the motions, like you're going to show up and the game is kind of already decided. And it felt like the UW was kind of falling into that mentality. Of course, you don't believe that consciously, but the game can kind of get dictated in that way, especially with the way that UBC was playing in that first half. But here, a couple small mistakes by UBC, and UW is really taking it to them.
They're capitalizing on that.
And it's exciting to see, and that right there was a beautiful crossfield shot. So aggressive. It's good to see the complete lack of fear in their eyes, just gearing up, and that is a high degree of difficulty to throw that nice blade over the top, and it was executed to 100% perfection.
This is some seriously good preseason ultimate.
Yeah. And could you tell me a little bit more about, you were mentioning the players that made that connection there, that threw that crossfield shot?
Yeah, we had Anna Pettis grab that, snag that point in. I believe it was Isabella behind the disc who threw that. She had a really strong game in that semifinal last year against, I believe it was Carleton. It's really fun to see these, young players rising through the college division, having the opportunity to play, these like-minded individuals is just really exciting.
Now UBC here coming back out on offense. They've got some reinforcements here, but a lot of classic faces. There's Ella Bolin moving the disc upfield. Kurahashi sneaking across, and that classic cutback.
She loves that speedy crossfield cut, man.
It's so hard to guard.
And they are just moving
Down
at
to the
100
far
miles
side
an hour, really close D from Lith there, but Emily Marshall able to reel it in. Quick point from UBC. And, I think that's what sets them apart from other teams in the division is UBC's ability to, score points on the turn of a dime. They make it happen so quickly. And not only are they scoring within 3 people, they're able to move it between the hands of 6 or 7 players really quickly.
Yeah, just watching that play back on the replay there, they had a couple big gainers, but then they just worked it from the far side to the close side with so much pace, just 3 quick throws, and that opened up this side of the field. It's so hard for downfield defenders to guard both sides and to switch back and forth. We talk about, in Ultimate, we talk about that concept of orbiting. Orbiting is impossible when they're moving the disc side to side as fast as they are and with as much aggression and pace. It is really a beautiful thing to watch, this UBC Women's Ultimate offense.
Oh my gosh, we are back.
For those tuning just in now to this excitement of a night back in Vancouver at Thunderbird Stadium, UBC is up 11-7. Got about 15 and a half minutes left in this game. Vince, what are you looking forward to? What do you hope to see in the next couple points, next couple minutes of this game?
Well, I would love to see Element punch this one in, even as a UBC fan. I think it'll really add to the excitement of this game going on if they're able to maintain the momentum that they sort of started to develop. It really has been a game of runs, and UBC has been on so many. And Element just started gaining a little bit of momentum these past couple of points. UBC with a nice hold. Element's got to come back with a hold here if they're going to keep this game going on. And they come out in this little side stack action, isolating so much space in the middle of the field. Not able to hit the first look, but they're going to get it with a little bit of a gain to this far side. That's Hickey. Moving it up to Soph there.
To Kelly Tam.
Another nice gainer to Tam, and it's again on the sideline. And they're not able to get it off.
That's Abigail. Nice yeah, nice D from Abby.
What a sick play. And they're UBC right back to the races, isolating players in space, moving it to this side.
They don't really stop.
And Claire
looking
Wang
for Brielle Wong,
that
and that's a
point.
point.
And Wong goes up big.
Nice work, Birds.
Brielle not the biggest player on the field, but she went and got that nice and high. Just an
she
electric
made it worth
grab.
it.
2 hands with authority.
She looks like she's 8 feet tall out there.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
And she lets it go. And Claire Wang gets the disc up line with a little bit of momentum. That flick is coming out. She loves
to punch it. She loves that look.
And that was an aggressive shot. And she let Brielle go and make that play for her. Just a lot of confidence in her receiver, and for good reason, as we saw on that play. UW about to take another timeout here. Their one final chance kind of to steady the ship. 3 points still for UBC to win. It's 12-7 in their favor in a game to 15.
You just won the 50-50, dude.
But they've got a lot of work ahead of them if UW is going to come back into this game. And What do you think they said to each other in that timeout? Like, what goes through your mind when you're in this kind of
I think the second half, it's definitely been a bounce back between, that first half. And I think they got to remind themselves that they're here to just play their game. I think that it's so intimidating, and, in front of fans. For a lot of these players, there's a bunch of rookies on both these teams who haven't gotten the opportunity to play in, A, the college division, and B, in front of a bunch of people in a new stands.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's intimidating. But, all they are in control of is what they put into it.
Well said, Anna, and you gotta hope that UW got even half of that kind of inspiration in their timeout just
Thanks,
there.
Vince.
They come back out onto the field, looking to steady the ship on their offense, back into this vertical stack that has been kind of their go-to all game. And our call sheet does not have a number 18, so I unfortunately don't know who has the disc there, but they're surveying the field, moving it just backwards, and just a
unfortunate
slight
turnover from
miscue.
UW.
Stanbog can't bring that one in, and this is the story we've been seeing all game. UBC capitalizing
Gas
on
on
a
the
mistake.
pedal. Emily Marshall, not a problem at all. She will windmill all of those grabs home.
Just a
Can't
sweet,
stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. That's a sweet, well-extended grab. Getting that left hand out there, too. That's a high degree of difficulty, and she just
And
flips it
fun
into
fact,
for the end
that
zone.
girl has broken both her hands at the same time. That does not hold her back
That's
from
true.
catching these insane grabs over and over and over.
Yeah, the term great hands is rarely applied to somebody who had both of their hands
Special
reconstructed
case
just a
right
few
there.
short years ago, and she's got that. She's got it on lock, and
She figured it out. Shout out her PT.
yeah, 100%. And shout out her for the hard work to get back.
Truly.
Coming back from injury like that is no joke. And UBC just rolling again, and it's such a pleasure to watch their of course their O-line offense when we've seen it in spurts in this game, but their D-line offense's pace is just unreal.
I think across both their O and D lines, that pace and that pedal to the metal is something that really truly sets them apart. I think it's really fun. Everyone who is fans of them, you can all get behind that quick play.
100%. And we talked about it a little bit in the men's game where it's easy when you're playing with pace to get out of control. We were seeing that was a little bit of a challenge that both teams actually had in that game. And that's what's so impressive about the UBC style of offense.
Yeah, and I think it shows their mindset too. It shows their ability to keep their head up on their shoulders and to not give up, or give in. We got a huge pull from UBC in their Navy athletic suits.
And
Shout out BE Ultimate.
Shout out BE Ultimate. And it's 13-7 in this game here on Trickshot Sports. And
Huge put up!
And that's a
All the way
beautiful
low, all the
throw.
way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Boom!
Just an electric shot there.
That was an awesome hit from, I believe that's Isabella.
Just
that girl has got an arm.
That was an unreal shot. And you could just tell right as it came out of her hand how it was so pure. But, Lauren is an incredible receiver, of course, but she didn't have to do anything to make that one work.
It's really exciting to see the trust building from UW, especially watching them, last season. I kept a close eye on these teams. And that's about it. And, being able to watch them build their trust with each other as a new, young, promising team, you're seeing that pay off now. And I think that, that really goes for both teams, being able to ride off the highs of the end of their season last year and see what they can, bring into this season.
Yeah, and it's just so exciting for you to be able to see that these are young, promising teams when they were both in the top 4 in the nation last year. It tells you so much about the excitement that you can have for these programs this year.
Shout out our region.
Yeah, the Northwest.
Never sleep on the Northwest.
As strong as it's ever been, honestly, in both divisions. For me, playing in the region for many years in the men's game, it's crazy how much strength there is across all areas of the region. Going down into Utah, and of course in Oregon and in Washington, and the women's division is like even a level up from that. Just like they've invented a new rule on the maximum number of bids a region can have because the Northwest women's keeps getting too many. It's absolutely ridiculous, and for the folks at home, that's just that just speaks to the kind of elite level of so many teams in this relatively small part of the North American region. And
here we got Anna coming down that pole on D. We have a turnover from UBC. This pressure from UW is building. Score right now 13-8 UBC. Let's see what UW's got in store.
UBC with a unfortunate turnover there, and this is a great
cheeky little hammer. I like to see that in the women's division. That's
fun. That was a sneaky play there. And oh my goodness,
Pressure's
a
getting
little
the
bit
best.
of contact there, and it looks like
we
we're
have
going to
a
get a foul
foul
call. Jinx. A lot of contact there, and no contest
No
on the
contest
call.
on that.
We get right back into the action here, and
Violation.
and though got to go back. This is one of those situations, though, Anna, where we've seen UW be so confident in the end zone, and it's just a UBC can't afford to give them these opportunities basically for free like this. It's going to give them an opportunity to get back in this game, but they are stuck on the sideline, which has been a challenge. But a nice play to get it off to the middle there.
Back to the middle with Anna Pettis.
Anna with
looking
the disc.
downfield, nice around, pushing. Sometimes it's just a little bit too far.
Just out of the outstretched hands of Ellen
But
Boyle.
hey, as this game has progressed, I feel like that pressure is really building from the UW side onto the UBC offense.
Yeah, but no player you'd rather have facing that pressure than Ella Bolin, who
Miss
picks up
Ella
the disc.
Bolin. Such a strong center handler. It's been super fun to watch her grow over the last couple of years.
Yeah, just a centerpiece of this offense, and fun to see her playing more on the O-line this year after a great stand on the D-line. And what a nice shot
look.
Grace Dude, one of the most talented throwers, especially huckers that exist in this division. So young too, in just her second year on this
Mika
team.
Kurahashi to Jamie Jung.
Jung with the goal.
Classic.
And UBC got to be really happy there to get the disc back after a quick turn to start the point and march it down in beautiful fashion. Really aggressive, hitting that nice huck and smooth offense through, and they're just one goal away now, and the crowd's hitting the wave with the
Thank
the
you,
excitement.
Avery. She is running the wave down here.
Yeah,
and that last point of Mika to Jamie, that really shows, their mental resilience that we were touching on earlier. UW was really close to scoring on that one, and UBC shook it off. They marched that disc all the way back down the field and scored, not a worry in their mind. And it's really fun to see that, tough battle. Looks like we've got some fun cartwheels down on the field there.
Yeah.
UW being playful.
UW keeping it loose right ahead of this point to defend for the game. Nice to see that they're still feeling it. They're still going to play with that kind of poise and confidence that we've come to expect from them as the second half is developed. But UBC, of course, will continue to look to pile on the pressure. It's 14-8 in this game and a game to 15. UBC with a chance to take it any of these next 7 points, and they'll go for it right here on the first one. They don't want to waste any time, just as they have all game, playing with so much pace and so much explosiveness.
Quick shout out to Avery Lee Pye, who's running the stadium mic right now. She is running through these stands. She's doing in-person interviews. Oh, back on the field, we got UW receiving, picking up. They're pushing the pace, looking to get another point on the scoreboard. Sophia Palmer with a big under.
Palmer to Gadu in the middle of the field here,
Back to
moving it
Isabella.
laterally.
UBC is so tight on this. Every single player downfield has their head on the swivel. You can watch that as their defense moves. Their hips and their heads, they are swiveling.
100%. That orbiting we were talking about earlier, they are putting on a clinic and put a nice little inside pass, and that'll be called back for a pick. But a really nice play there by Gadu that she'll have to repeat, and UW able to work their way into this end zone set. It would be really nice for them to cash this one in with a nice opportunity here. Regardless of the outcome of this game, Anna, continuing to punch in points with the season right around the corner has got to be so huge for UW's momentum and kind of confidence building into this.
For sure.
This
I
next
feel like
tournament.
there's nothing like the beginning of the season when it's January and you're on the brink of gameplay and the chance to you're frothing at the mouth. You've been practicing for a couple months. You're kind of sick of, playing against your own teammates. You get the chance to play against other people and, learn your match and learn how your offense is really flowing in a real game time situation. There's nothing like it.
Lauren fighting for that space.
Moving it towards the middle here.
Here
And
UW
a
is
nice
frothing
goal
at the
on the
mouth.
far
That is another
side.
point for UW.
That's Joyce Huey with a nice goal, and UW looked really clean on that point. They've got to be happy with the way that their offense moved it side to side. Something I wanted to ask you about, Anna, that I heard Mika talk about last year is that part of being on such a dominant team is learning how to bounce back from losses can be hard when they're so occasional. Like UBC had just one loss heading into the college championships last year, but Mika said that she learned a lot from that one loss. And she was glad that it kind of happened before nationals instead of leading up to it. I was curious if you could speak to like how you kind of build resilience when you are just so dominant in a program like this, and what this UBC team might be looking to, how they might be looking to learn that over the course of this season.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, Mika said that well. And, you can't take anything for granted, even as a dominant program. Losses happen and we're playing a game. I was on those teams that dealt with a lot of unfortunate losses, and that happens. That's why you can't take, wins for granted, but being able to truly celebrate those moments where you get to take it home, and also, learn from your losses. Everything's an opportunity. And I think that UBC does that really well.
100%. UBC getting centered here. They hit the synchronized clap and set their hands up into the air.
That's my favorite. Shout out.
They're looking to punch this one in. It's 14-9 in a game to 15. UBC with a chance to win it on offense. Grace Dew centering into Ella Bolin with disc.
Nothing like a UBC O-line.
She surveys the field. A nice cut across. So much pace there. Looking upfield and just overshot. UW with another opportunity here.
Yeah, that's a strong seal. Strong seal on Mika Kurahashi.
And UW got to be happy with the way that they defended there. Obviously a bit of a miscue by UBC, but it was the pressure that caused that to happen. And now they have an opportunity here, their D-line offense, to get another break and kind of build that momentum. Moving it towards, or looking towards the middle of the field and finding it. A really nice pass over there.
UBC super quick to lock back down in on their person defense.
Yeah, a nice break to the far side. And an opportunity to go deep, but well defended there.
Back to the middle.
Moving it back towards the middle here.
Slicing and dicing here.
And they'll keep the momentum going to this side of the field. Another gainer on the open side, stringing together multiple passes in a row is huge here for Element.
Looking super smooth, and the fast pace is really exciting to watch.
That's a sweet little inside look. And
wow! Oh,
sneaky
D! That is Mika Kurahashi for you.
Yeah, you don't.
Incredible D.
You don't.
Wait, that might be Madoka.
34
wow, I
there.
need binoculars. Oh yeah, that's Madoka. Nice Madoka.
Nice play.
Sorry, my eyes are getting the better of me. 2 years out of the program.
Yeah, and it's really a luxury on this team to have a player that you can mistake for Mika Kurahashi. What a gift! What a gift! But another turnover here by UBC, and
here we have UW in their end zone.
Their favorite place to be in the red zone, and they are able to move it towards the middle of the field right away. A little bit of a scary grab, but well executed there. Another high pressure play, moving it back towards the middle. And they'll look to hit something to the break side here if they can, and they do.
Oh my goodness, they are hitting these tiny windows. They must be really drilling these end zones at practice. Shout out
100%.
Shout out UW coaches. Some old teammates of mine.
Yeah.
Gotta give it to them.
Oh, nice leader. What a grab by Rowan there. Far side. As you've talked about, just such a talented player.
Yeah.
And has put such a stamp on this game. And a nice inside shot. Just so high skilled there by Shniwis Loren. And UW, another, they're finding a little bit of steal here.
Their rhythm.
And exciting for those of us watching this game in the arena here or at home.
I can't get enough.
Yeah, we would love to keep this thing going a little bit longer if UW would like to put together a few more breaks. But the UBC team is going to put on another offense here. Aiming to steady the ship, taking a little bit of a second. Doesn't look like a full timeout. They're slowly marching that line out, taking their time. It's about taking some deep breaths right now, and
locking in.
14-10 feels like a huge lead, and I mean we talked about it. They have 7 chances to score after they got to 14, but you don't want to use too many of those.
No.
It feels like it can get away from you real fast. So a nice. Couple points in a row by Element to build some momentum, and they'll be happy with the confidence boost that gives them, but they'll be even happier if they're able to turn this into a ball game again. And so they're putting out a nice big defensive line here.
You know, and I have to give a shout out. Shout out to Trick Shot Live for filming this, because not only do all of you get to watch this at home, but both of these teams who keep scoring a bunch of points on each other get to watch this film back.
It's true.
And I know that that's a gift for both teams. You know, being able to, you know, keep some tabs on those really strong players throughout the season. Shout out Trick Shot Live.
Shout out to Trick Shot Live. And we're here on Trick Shot, of course, brought to you by our sponsors, B Ultimate, Joint Works Chiropractic, and Prime Ultimate institutions here in Vancouver. UBC's offense, supported by a crowd cheering. Ella Bolin in the middle of the field, moving it to the far side. That's Kurahashi. Another gainer
Boom.
here.
Look at them go. Absolute
An
textbook.
expressive
Incredible.
shot. A nice D.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
Kelly Tam with an
Tam.
incredible defensive play. Going
Kelly
up with that
Tam.
left hand off of 2 feet.
Damn. And let me tell you, love that girl, but she's not that tall.
That was an incredible play by
She
Chen.
knows how to
timed
get up
that
at the right time.
extremely well. And with the left hand, too, that's not an easy play.
And, you know, for UBC offense having such, you know, textbook plays, being able to time that D is not an easy feat.
No, and UW with a little momentum here.
They're
And
coming back.
we're going crazy style. And that is one incredible catch over
It's
Kurahashi.
getting exciting.
Just
Looking
a
for that
sweet
center.
play. God, dude.
I
God
love this
damn.
matchup. Wow.
And she floats it, and that's going to work.
Oh, we got 3 UW
Oh.
players going for 1. That's tough. Unfortunate.
A little commentator's jinx there. I said that's going to work about a split second before.
Sometimes you got too much going on there.
Yeah, too many receivers available for that
for one
one.
disc, you know. That's some tough math right
And
there.
Bolin picks it up and goes to Kurahashi, and
Miko wants this.
Mika's going to be a little bit steadier here, not getting too aggressive, and weighing in the middle of the field now. Kurahashi moving to the far side. Kind of a nice opportunity for UBC to put out whatever O-line they're interested in using right after they've received a break, with a chance to win the game, weighing on the goal line, having crossed over from the defensive line, and looking towards the front cone, but not able to hit it, working it towards the middle of the field. That's
Back to the middle. Over to the other side. Ella Bolin.
Mandy Lee from Bolin.
That is a UBC win for this preseason game.
And-
UBC versus UW. I have to say, Vince, that was a super exciting second half of the game. That was awesome.
An incredible game, and fun to see Ella Bolin grab that final goal and break it down with some nice dance moves. Just an electric game and so much fun to watch. I'll ask you, Anna, for your final thoughts here before we sign off.
Yeah, I think the end of that game, that was my favorite part. Watching that energy really, you know, hit both teams at the same time was really fun to see how everyone's, you know, not only pushing themselves, but also, you know, reveling in what they know best. You know, UW's end zone was looking really strong throughout that game, and UBC just knows how to keep going.
Absolutely. And before we sign off, just want to say thanks to everyone at home for joining us live. Thank you so much for pitching in your few bucks to support College Ultimate. It makes a huge difference to these programs who pay to play throughout the whole season. I want to say thanks to Trickshot Sports for having us on and filming the game. They did an incredible job setting us up with the live stream here. And a thanks to everybody that made this possible. Avery, who joined us in the first half of this game. Anna Gadu, who joined me in the second half of this game, and Kev, who joined us in the first game. An incredible squad, and we had a great time. And congratulations to UBC Women's and to UW Men's, who took home the W's in these two awesome games in the first event of this UBC versus UW showdown north of the border.
Truly. And, you know, big thank you to Vince. Comment if you think he should do this professionally, because I think it's in his future.
We'll see about that.
Thank you, everyone, and hopefully, you know, this will come back in a couple months or another year. Thank you all. Have a great night.